And we should be going live. Hello everybody, welcome back. Hopefully my internet will behave itself this week. Because of that, I am
pressing X all the time.
Last week's episode, so I'll probably do that tomorrow and put that up on YouTube, so it is slightly delayed because of that. In the meantime, we had some fun last week, didn't we?
Depends on your definition of fun.
Yes, that's a word you could use for it.
Well, okay. Me and Sephi had fun.
I had virtually nothing to do.
After dealing with the intruder that had been rattling around in their bedroom, they find it was in fact an old friend. Who they now believe has been
used friend in an interesting way now.
Has been duly arrested and taken away, as far as the party knows.
Mads knows better.
Yeah.
You sit on a throne of lies!
The whole city is a throne of lies, my friend.
You're not wrong.
Annoyed, Hunter returned to bed. That was currently being kept warm. Rascal and Mads.
Oh, and hello.
Not feeling the safest with their room at the moment, retreated to sleep in the basement while being watched over by their faithful master of the house, Gorday. Vaizan decided to mind the tavern and the hatch. Where did Bing, Nola, and Ashford end up?
I'd say Bing stays with Vaizan.
Oh, it happened!
Ashworth is currently passed out on the bar top. He's slumped against it, and is resting on it. Body's almost sleeping off of one of the bar stools.
And did Nola go to the bedroom?
I think she's also kind of hanging around in the bar because her room is very, very boring for somebody who doesn't really sleep like a totally normal human being.
Okay. So then, as Vaizan, Bing, and Ashford were hanging around in the bar, with also Ygritte, who stayed around for a little bit of extra security. Over time, the exertion of the night finally caught up with them and they started to drift off, while Nola was left wide awake, looking around, trying to avoid the gaze of the large gnoll who was occasionally pacing the room. As the sunlight started to come up, a young man with a scraggly beard came in, followed by a trio of kobolds as they started to generally clean up and start cooking breakfast. So, Vaizan, Bing, and Ashford, you are woken by the smell of cooking and also some clattering around. You look around the room, you see Ygritte is currently dozing off next to the fire, and two other gnolls are sitting at a tabletop, seemingly playing a little bit of dice. The three kobolds are helping themselves to a rather large plate of sausages, while Dave is also getting a nice breakfast in him before the start of the day. So,
Bing's getting in on that action.
Vaizan, I actually have a question for Vaizan before we get into it. He's basically been sleeping cross-legged on top of the door to the cellar with his shoulders across his lap. I didn't actually say whether or not he took the armor off. I kind of forgot that is kind of a thing that gives you exhaustion.
Is it?
Yeah.
technically, yeah.
Yeah. He's okay. I'm going to give him a point of exhaustion then, because fair is fair, and it's on brand for the dude. Let's be honest.
He's having a week.
He's having a life. But yeah, so Peach is going to sort of like blink awake, smell the food, and he is definitely going to try and get some of that.
Okay.
Good morning, Captain.
Good morning.
Good morning, Captain.
Bob and Odie and Bert happily share around the food. It looks like they made enough for the owners.
Well, Uh,
Apologies. I
someone
have
is
no
picking up
idea.
outside. Did anyone order a beeping carriage to deliver something?
Sorry, it's a very sensitive microphone. I got a question. How do you add exhaustion again? It's oh no, never mind. It's been a while. I apologize. Yeah.
Don't you worry about the noises.
Yeah, Peachy basically wanders over and is like slumps a little on the bar. He looks exhausted. Ashwood,
Yes.
good to see you, my friend.
What can I do for you, sir?
Oh, I'll have anything. I think a little hair of the dog. To be honest, I believe I'm on the wrong side of the bar.
You've done
He
the
looks
best
over
you
to the
could.
rest of the group. Is this the staff?
This is Yigrin and her two siblings and the three kobolds over there, where the young man with the beard and Bing are sitting. That is also part of the staff. And you already met our master of the house.
Yes. Master of the house.
Yes, he takes care. He takes care pretty much of the business side, so that we can have a little bit more time for ourselves and follow other interests.
Very, very wise. I approve. Tell me, Ashwood, who here is aware of my relationship as a co-owner? He said that very quietly, by the way.
I believe you have introduced yourself to all of them.
No, he hasn't.
Oh wait,
I have not.
It might be that only Mr. Gordain, the master of the house, who is downstairs with our.
Yes, the Loxodon fellow. I briefly said they didn't really have time for real pleasantries. More, it was a case of I spent most of my time out.
You hear the hatch behind you open as the large Loxodon head kind of peers out. Morning. No. No, don't do this. Don't drop my internet. Because of course it did.
Used at best as a friend.
Exactly. I'm an associate, a companion, a traveling
Testing,
friend.
testing,
shall
1,
we
2,
say.
3.
I understand, given that you are in a way here on city business.
Well, that is well. At some point, I. Inquisitor Vizan. I'm currently working with the city of Waterdeep.
Guys,
I just want to point out too that entire thing wasn't come through because I dropped as soon as Gordain popped his fucking head out of the hatch.
yeah, see, I was trying to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, let's roll back then.
TLDR, for those who didn't catch it, Peachy was basically saying, the less people who know I'm a co-owner of this tavern, because that's what Peachy thinks, the better.
And it came through on my end.
Oh, good, yeah. So basically, he was just asking for a fry-up.
Yeah,
And he's gonna.
This table is laden with bacon and sausages and fried mushrooms and tomatoes.
Bing's still got the sausage hanging out the corner of his mouth like a cigar.
Awesome. Man after my own heart. Hope you don't mind. Pete very respectfully works his gigantic minotaur form around the tiny kobold of birds. Sits down at the table and he just tucks in.
Odie's just like staring at you, like mouth half open, sausage all the way up to his like, hi!
Hello, how do you do? I assume you all work here?
Yeah, we made the food.
Oh, this is delicious.
They are our chefs. You had already met Ygritte. She is the security.
Mm. Yeah.
Ygritte's
I
asleep, by
believe that is
the
her
way.
family.
Yeah.
Ygritte is asleep. She fell asleep next to the fireplace. She's like draped in the tavern cats and Rudolph.
You see, the lovely lady who's sleeping is Ygritte. She's our main security, and I believe I hadn't been formally introduced, but I assume you are her siblings?
Ygritte, I work farm. Ygritte, he looking for job. Ygritte is also half the size of the other two.
Aw.
He's also ridiculously spotty. His fur coloring is just covered in spots. While the others do have the occasional little dot, he looks like he's been flicked with a freckle brush.
Aww.
Haraga approves.
And this is our head waiter, currently our only waitstaff, Dave.
Hello, sir. It's human, I believe he was, because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
He's
human.
human, yes.
He was a human lad.
He's a young human lad, and he looks very nervous at just the sheer size of you.
As well he should. Vizan gives him a very polite and the friendliest smile he's capable of. And I say he's just tearing into the food as best he can. He is starving. He is exhausted.
Also,
But he
this.
tries to.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
share
yeah.
this with you.
Yes, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
Robert Mann.
And
Robert
light and
Mann.
fun. Our kitchen staff, of course, are the lovely kobolds sitting around you.
In very broken draconic, Bing would understand this. Vizan says, "It's a pleasure to eat you."
Come on, guys. He was kidding.
Peachy looked a bit confused.
Now we
Wait,
better get ready for
is
the
it an
breakfast
A or
shift.
an F? Peachy actually leans forward. Peachy leans forward to Bing and is like, "Why do they always do that? I the pleasure to meet you."
Well, you kind of mispronounced it, and you got the word confused. Meet and eat.
Ah, oh bugger.
I did try to explain to them you were just joking, but yeah, they're kind of skittish.
I work with a kobold. I'm very well aware. No, several actually, but that's another story.
You start to hear the absolute cacophony of those three starting to get to work into the kitchen.
But yes, they do fantastic work. If at some point you could let them know, I heartily approve.
No worries, I'll tell them later.
Much appreciated. And Bing, that was correct?
Yeah, Bing.
It's a pleasure to properly introduce myself. Paxid's Vizan.
Bing Natkin, Knight of the Summer Court.
Would that be an intelligence check or something for the whole Fae connection?
Yes.
Okay, let's just do an actual roll. Intelligence. That's a saving throw because... Oop. Okay. With regular roll... Oh, wait, no. Yeah. No, yeah, that's fine. Huh. I'm not familiar with that particular court. Nobility, unfortunately, no disrespect intended, is not my forte. I'm more of a hoof on the streets kind of fellow.
It's basically, you're familiar with the Feywild, right?
In concept, I've never really been to any world other than this one. I'd like to keep it that way if I could.
I was born in the Feywild, so Bing basically starts explaining about the whole how fables came into existence. Mentions a great archmage who, and the master thief, the impressive warrior, and how his basic relative, the kobold, the glorious kobold sorcerer Nat, basically defeated the evil Tiamat.
As he's talking and describing these epic tales, you're interested in listening, but you're also very distracted by the fact that he is very slowly turning grey.
Fascinating. I'd heard that your people were... you have unique... what's the word I'm trying to use? You have a very unique physiology. The scales, for example, that's fascinating. Is it... I hope I'm not offending you by calling it out.
Oh, no, this is actually something to do with that stone thing. Yeah, the thing's cursed, so I'm kind of holding the bag, as it were.
Face palms.
A cursed stone, you say? Well, I'm a paladin.
Snap.
Interesting.
Bing, could I have your assistant over here? I have something that needs a little bit of work.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry, I'll speak to you later again, Captain.
Of course. Peachy doesn't take his eyes off him.
So, what's up?
Well, you don't need to tell everything to everybody.
Bing's kind of just doing that sort of, he's kind of like doing the tennis eyes at this point. Okay.
I can't believe it. Bing actually managed to out-naive Rascal.
Know about Vizan.
You do not need to tell him. He is
Too late.
affiliated. He is
I've had a friend of yours.
He is affiliated with a few. How do I say it? He's affiliated apparently with a group. That's at least what I've been hearing. That is also interested in the store. And yes, I rolled stealth. Question is if Vizan is trying to hear in.
Oh, 110%. I mean, if you don't want to bother rolling, the...
If your passive is high enough, we don't need to roll. I rolled an 11 on stealth.
Well, to be fair, I did say the thing was cursed, so...
Still, he doesn't need to know that it is kind of the first step towards the key.
Bing again does a tennis eyes, and you can't tell from the look at his face, just like, I said nothing about that. You're the one who just admitted it.
No.
Yep.
Passive perception is 12. Also, as they both turn over their shoulders to look at Vizan, he's just staring at them and just gives them a very big smile. And carries on eating slowly, his eyes not moving from them.
I just screwed it up, didn't I?
I think you might have done, yeah.
Peachy actually moves two of the chairs in front of him to the side a little. Thank you. And he gestures for you both to sit down.
Ashworth curses in Undercommon. probably the first time you've ever heard that.
Hmm. Well, gentlemen, at some point, I think it would be a wise idea for us to have a conversation that isn't in, shall we say, mixed company. There are some very sensitive issues going on in the city at the moment, and I think it would be in all of our interest if we were to retain information to those that we really trust. And he's side-eyeing Bing as he says that with a smile. I will say this as fair warning. Ashwood is absolutely right. I am a friend to everyone here. But there are certain obligations that I have which might run counter to obligations some of you may have. Politics, basically.
Let us call a spade a spade.
Well, as I say, I think it would be advisable for us to wait for everyone else. And with respect, Mr. Natkin, I think you may or may not be interested in what I have to say. His eyes go over to Scoletta in the far corner. I would be a little more secure if your new associate was not a part of some of the conversation. The less people know about the problem, the better. Have we, incidentally, in regards to this woman, what do you gentlemen know about her?
Nothing that she hasn't told us, really. I'm just gonna have to roll deception for that,
I
because
was
Bing
about to say.
does.
Mr. Natkin, I've please forgive my. Oh wait, the deception. What was this for?
It's for the fact that all he knows is that anything is only the things that she told us. And I mean, she has a rather interesting quirk that she points out things that are very, very normal. Which, to be honest, has caused me to raise an eyebrow. And being, to be completely honest, you seem to know. I've noticed that in the past you have been rather dismissive of my intrigue.
Yeah, well.
I've managed to dance around the issue.
Yeah, well. It's like how people kind of don't know what I am. I just find it easy to say I'm a kobold than an actual feybold sometimes. It saves a lot of time.
So, one thing to circle back around, the current coloration of your scales, that's not the
No, like I say, it's a curse, so...
Huh. You have no control over this. And if I may describe, Peach is currently looking over at Bing, and Bing is almost identical in his coloration to Peach. Like the white and like a darker nose. The antenna have turned to almost like a dark grey and are curling up almost like horns.
Sadly not.
Currently sprouted a small chin beard.
Sadly not. But I don't mind. It's a change of pace.
It certainly makes conversations interesting, if distracting.
Shouldn't have seen it. You should have seen him in his disco ball gaze.
Oh yeah, that was
Blink.
fun.
Chromatic colors all over. We should
Nothing wrong
probably
with the
get
little
our
colour
friends
in
from
life.
the basement, though, if we want to have a conversation, including the inner circle, as you put it.
And so they do, I guess. That, unless there was anything else you wanted to do.
I have.
Do we have the DM?
Yeah, you do. You're good.
Oh, good. Sorry, I was worried Goddard has abandoned us again.
No.
God
Okay.
has forsaken us.
So while these conversations have been going on, what is the rest of the party doing? Aside from getting snuggles from their significant others.
Well,
Hey, Rascal's been up for hours.
so Mads woke up and she was literally like tossing and turning, and then she's like stretching and going, chocolate. I want chocolate. Like she's not even fully awake. Her hair's hanging in front of her face. She's down on all fours on the ground now, being like, I want chocolate and Five Guys.
Rascal provides as best he can and sends like puffs of chocolatey odor, that of the hot chocolate that Mads prepared him, in her general direction.
That'll get me started. That'll get me started, and you'll get me going. Do you want to go upstairs?
Well, if you're in a rush to start the day, sure. I mean, I've just been reading for the past couple of hours, listening to like people going about their conversation upstairs.
Sweetie, I want to talk to you about what happened.
And by all means, I've been listening to them all talking for hours. They think they're quiet, they're not. These are thin walls in the basement.
Maybe we
It
should
would
make
have
them thicker.
been muffled, but you would have to roll a perception check if you were trying to actively listen in. If you were trying to just passively listen, then you wouldn't have heard shit.
I'm just throwing shade on the fact we've been here for over 15 minutes in silence.
I've seen what you were doing in the chat.
Yeah, well.
What Matt was doing in the chat. I was just being
Yeah.
snarky.
And I just want to talk to you about some things while we get ready to go up.
Oh yeah, by all means. Let's talk. I'd love a moment to just talk. You first, sweetheart.
I realize I haven't been very helpful to you lately. I'm sorry about that. It's like I know I'm not so good at thinking about things, but I promise I'm gonna try more. Don't worry so much about me or the kids, because you have to know, you do know that there's nothing I won't do to protect both of you. Being good about it, I mean, of course, I'm not gonna just do the stuff I used to do. I'm gonna try more thinking type things, okay?
Well, it would be nice if you stopped charging headfirst into danger. I know why you've been doing it. It's
You do?
rather obvious. Well, yeah. After the nimble ride, you kind of must have realized how fragile I was.
No, you're not fragile. You're the strongest man I know.
I appreciate what you're trying to do, boosting me up like that. I'm a little guy, so I kind of need it. I'm a little guy trying to do a lot of big things. But
You make up for it in power.
But sweetie, I know at the end of the day, I'm just one little kobold.
That's not why I've been doing it. I can't let any of them get away. If they get away, they'll come back and hurt us. And
Yeah, I know.
I want this to end. I want to stop being attacked and robbed, and I want to make a life with you.
Well, the easiest way to solve that is for us to stop worrying about high morality bullshit and just do what we can to ruin the Xanathar Guild's day, get this treasure, and then move on with our lives.
I'm really good at rooting people's day.
Well, Well, I'm sure we can ruin the Sanafars very soon. As soon as we're up and at 'em.
Yeah, I love you so much.
Yeah, I love you too. Here's the thing. And please, listen.
Hmm?
I am small. I am naive. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I try to do so much. And I know you keep trying to make me seem like I'm invincible. I know I'm not. And you don't have to do that. But you don't also have to throw yourself into harm's way just to protect my image, this image of me you built in your mind. I want me and you, to, if we're going to leap into danger together at the same time. Sweetie, breathe. The morning's just started.
I know. I'm just giggling. I'm sorry. But like I said, I'm gonna try to do more thinking about things.
Rascal takes off his gloves and tosses them to the ground and gently caresses Mad's belly. Me and you, we gotta protect each other. We gotta protect our tavern and those in it, and we have to protect them more than anything else.
I love you when I love your hands.
Well, I'm done hiding them.
Good.
I'm not gonna hide the past, or I'm not gonna live in it either. Just gonna think about the now, and I'm gonna protect what's in the now.
Yeah. That's how I've been doing it the whole time.
Well, I guess if I taught you some things, you taught me some things.
She makes the little squeak sound from Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors that I can't do.
I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too. Let's go get some chocolate though.
Chocolate and breakfast.
Yeah.
By all means, let's get at it.
Okay. So you used to.
Rascal prestidigitates both him and Mads clean and freshens them up for the day ahead.
Mads twirls and heads up the stairs in front of Rascal, and she is putting on a display.
Sweetie, if I may, I'd like to make a grand entrance.
Oh, do you want to do something? Okay.
You might want to step a bit down.
Dump. She hops backwards. Okay, go.
So, on the stairs, right before under the hatch, Rascal pulls out his loot, clears his throat, and whoops, and he casts Thunderclap. The intention being to blow the hatch open.
Okay.
I'm so glad Captain Bizan's not there.
So, you prepare yourself, you get your loot, and you let out a very vigorous strum, which translates into a wave of arcane energy that blasts forth with a loud thunderous boom as the hatch in front of you flies open and cracks Gordain in the shin.
Oops. We'll worry about that in a moment as Rascal leaps out and just goes, "Go burning motherfuckers!"
The large man lets out a paint and drops the head of cabbage that he'd been eating like an apple. He looks around you, and for the first time you see anything. You see no trace of his usual serene expression, and you see a glare from this large man who, again, is near enough 8 feet tall and could pick you up hold you in his hand. But after a deep breath, picks up his cabbage, dusts himself off, and goes to start looking for the kitten that was on his shoulder a moment ago.
At the same time, if I may, Pete, the explosion of noise, Peachy leapt to his feet, knocking the table with Bing and Ashwood in their direction, and the sword is out. It's like, and And then he looks a little bit annoyed also.
Bing is just kind of sat on his chair, still just
Mads comes up
carefully grabbing us. Basically, he catches a sausage in midair.
Mads comes up and looks over at Faizan and says, "Hello, Captain.
Lady Madeline, how are you?
I'm fine. I had a great rest and I'm ready to start the day renewed and refreshed."
Insight check.
I love the fact that Vizan insights that, and not the fact that Rascal just made an explosive entry.
Before we go
I
any
mean,
further,
let's be honest.
in response to what Captain Vizan did, can Bing and Ashford make a dexterity saving throw?
Of course, it's not like I'm not dexterous or something. I should be able to get out of the way and
So-
actually get my weapon, my short sword out as well.
Luckily, as you were startled by the large boom as well, you were already on your feet when the table in front of you started to flip. Dave now looks crestfallen across the room that he had just cleaned to now see the remnants of breakfast scattered around the floor. Several of the tavern cats have now started to uncurl from where they were sleeping and go over and start licking at the egg and nibbling at the sausages.
Bing has a sausage stuck in the corner of his mouth again.
Sorry about that, Dave.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Hunter, as both you and Lord Fairwind are reluctant to get out of bed, you hear a loud crash and bang from downstairs. How do you react?
Curses into the air, jumps out of bed, and now she's not even caring. She just grabs her bow and bolts down the stairs.
Alright.
For clarification,
So,
naked.
in a few thunderous steps, this door slams open and you see Hunter in a state of undress, wielding her bow.
I don't think a full frontal assault's gonna do any good, Hunter.
Hello, Clark! I had to. Shut up.
Looks like Rascal wanted to make an entrance.
You hear a few more as Bruno appears at her shoulder, wearing nothing but his hastily pulled on trousers, and apparently has a small dagger as well, as he's looking around going, "What's going on? What?"
Hunter, as soon as he sees everything's fine, just like, God, fuck.
Well,
I swear I'm gonna just turns tail, just like twitching madly and all puffed out.
Bing just slowly moves the sausage towards the front of his mouth as this is going on.
I think the two of you might want to get dressed.
Oh, you see, the inside of Roll's ears are turning bright red, and his whiskers are starting to twitch. He's like, "Well, if there's no merchants, I'll be right. Yeah, right back."
I know, I enjoyed the show.
As well. I mean, you almost have the full buffet on display.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Hunter's just...
Under control. You're still standing in front of me for some reason.
She's back upstairs. Janice hasn't moved me.
Oh, right, sorry.
Bing basically just flips his head up again and basically eats the sausage whole, like a crocodile.
He's also noticed that there is a diminutive gnoll in the doorway with a heavy club, looking very confused.
No, everything's quite all right, thank you.
Okay.
Just for flavour, Vizan turns to Rascal and Mads and says, "I assume the date went well then."
How did the insight check turn out first?
Oh, that's a good point. I actually didn't make the roll, did I? Okay. And that's
Because I want
with
to know, like,
disadvantage.
if that changes how you act.
No, it's like, oh, she's fine. Good. Okay.
So, important question: is the fire going?
Yeah, it's pretty low at the minute.
Neat.
Are there chairs here?
Yeah.
Well,
Mads
we can
moves
always
to
come
sit
back
down in
to
a chair, and the animal handling was her trying to coax a kitty into her lap to pet the kitty.
Oh.
Most of the kitties are distracted by the buffet that is now on the floor.
Oh. Then she
Rudolph,
sits in the chair
however,
and
trots
she...
over quite happily.
What?
Rudolph trots over.
Hi, Rudolph. Rascal, come here.
Well, hang on. So, a couple things. One, Rascal throws his gloves in the fire.
Mads
Two.
looks very happy about that.
Rascal throws the opera program into the fire.
Woo!
3, Rascal takes Isla's flare gun off the mantle
Yeah.
and tosses that on the table.
I was about to say you want to unload it first.
Yeah.
It's already unloaded. I fired it and it covered you in blue powder or something.
It did,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
That was some time
Why
ago.
do-
That
I don't
was
suppose one of you could dispose of that. I toss it in the fire of all the other garbage, but I don't think metal burns.
If you want, Mr. Skyreach, this might be useful. I'm sure I can get some of our attack dogs to get the scent. With your permission, of course.
Oh, by all means, go for it, because if Isla can avoid death, then she can get away out of a jail cell easily enough.
She's going to
Indeed.
escape, and she's going to try again.
And then we kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Peach is gonna, without touching it, he's gonna get a little cloth or something, and he's gonna wrap up the flare gun and take it for himself.
Yeah, Ashford, I hope you're not in disagreement with that. We tried the law once. If she comes back again, all bets are off.
Oh, trust me. If she comes back again, I'm going to... Someone has got to choke a bitch?
Oh, I'm sure Vizan is more than capable of choking a bitch.
Well,
I
It
would
is
have
my
by
job
stabbing
to-
her in the shins.
Unless you want to try just by yourself, Ashford. We can always let you do that if you want.
well, if someone else takes it off my hands, I am...
Relax, everyone. Ashford's got this.
Now, in all seriousness, Mr. Grumbletoes, I'd be very curious to see what your dark side looks like.
Rascal,
Yeah, sweetie?
when you're ready. And she pats her knee.
Rascal hops up on Mads' knee.
And then she actually tries to cuddle him. She tries to cuddle him close to her and starts trying to give him a luxuriant shoulder massage. She's not sexualizing it. It's like it's deep, like, but like she's trying to do it professionally.
I'll say
I don't know if I
as
have to roll anything for that.
Alright, so.
real quick, I just want to...
Blissful kobold noises.
Yeah.
You may continue.
As they're doing that, Hunter just walks up behind them and...
And she just what? She walks up behind them and does what?
You
See,
cut
I'm
off
dying
the-
of anticipation.
I see you broke up there.
Sorry. Accidentally tapped my mic up. She walks up behind Rascal and smacks him upside the head.
I would like to make a dexterity save, if I may.
Yeah.
Are
Being
you trying
just
to
what?
avoid it?
Yes?
Then Hunter, roll an unarmed attack.
Oh, jeez.
Do I roll a dex save? Or acrobatics or something like that?
Well, it's just going against your armor class.
Oh, okay. Go for it then.
Okay. Unarmed is just a d20, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It meets, it beats.
You manage to cuff him quite squarely in the back of his head, sending his little hat tumbling to the floor.
No, that was you! Don't do that shit again!
This reminds me so much of home.
Hunter, 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 Hunter. She's just saying it over and over, waiting for Hunter to respond. Hunter.
Now she's just staring at Mads. What?
No.
Thank you, sweetie. Rascal picks up his hat.
Right there, just like staring Hunter dead in the face, and I'm, just cause this is where Mads is right now, and I apologize in advance. Let's see. It is what it is. She's trying, regardless of the result.
Madam Swiftpaw. Peach is sort of like puts his hand up, trying to break up any, because he's seen what Mads can do when she gets really angry. He's trying to diffuse that shit fast. How have you been? I assume you're a date with. I assume this is Lord Fairwind. He gestures all the way to the other end of the bar.
Oh yeah, that's
Hunter.
And hearing his
I
name,
didn't
he
real-
kind of perks up and looks around. Hello.
Oh, sorry. Hello, sir.
Yes.
He just nods politely, and he just looks.
Mads and Lord Fairwind. And Mads, I'm not angry with him, I'm just annoyed.
Then why don't you walk up? Then why don't you walk over there? And she gestures toward Lord Fairwind and does a very distinct looking of Lord Fairwind up and down and says, "Return to your man of wealth."
Her eyes and walks away, mumbling to herself. After last night, and he goes off and does that.
Yeah, funny that.
Yeah. It's almost as if last night had effect on people. Certainly not Mads. She's exactly the same as everybody knows her.
Yeah, Bing's just kind of. I used to have to eat all the time.
So, everyone seems well?
I'm well and well hungry. I need some breakfast. Woo!
Well, unfortunately, your little stunter sent the remaining breakfast a bit flying, but I'll send word to the kitchen.
No, it's fine. I'll go get it myself.
Was that the last food in the world? And Mads gets up and
I said
heads over to.
last of the prepared breakfast.
Oh, I don't need a prepared breakfast.
Yeah, I want chocolate and I want some chocolate and some Five Guys.
So I have invaded the kitchen.
Yeah, and Mads went
As
in too.
you
I don't know where the
step
kitchen
into
is.
their territory, the three kobolds kind of stop and look at you. They're like mid-action. Bobbin is currently frying up many sausages, black eggs and scrambled eggs. Bert appears to be making some pastries. Odie is over chopping vegetables. They all just kind of turn and look at you.
Hi, Bobbin, Odie, Bert. I would like some eggs, please.
And
Okay, Bobbin.
I-
He starts reaching over, getting stuff that's nearly ready, and starts separating it out onto a plate. How many?
Sweetie, are you sure, sweetie?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I mean, once I get the eggs, we can talk about it, okay?
Yeah, but and then you go first, then I'll tell them what I want.
Okay, I don't know how many eggs is normal. I feel like 4 is a good place to start.
Okay. So he like starts shoveling this large amount of eggs. You want some sausages? I have bacon ready.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I'd like that a lot. Haven't eaten well the past couple days.
Yeah, we found this really fun stuff. It's called black pudding. Here, try.
Ooh.
He starts basically shoveling what is amounts to a full Irish. As he's handing over the plate, Bert leans over your shoulder and puts on some fried tomatoes and some soda bread and some mushrooms and beans. They just hand you this massive slap-up fry.
Thank you very much. You do damn fine work.
It's why you hired us.
Damn straight. I believe my lovely sweetie has something her own request, so I'll be outside. Thank you.
She says, I would like 2 tall tankards of hot chocolate. I've told you how to make that. And I want some Five Guys, which I haven't had a chance to tell you all how to make. You take bread and you butter it and you toast it and you put ground meat and vegetables between the 2 pieces of the toasted bread. Can you do that for me? Oh, and cheese. Lots of cheese.
Cool's gonna look at each other and then shrug and says, "Yeah, we can try."
Yeah. I know you'll make it beautifully. It's my favorite food in the whole world, but the problem is I can only get it in a very far away exotic locale.
Okay.
And she says, thank you all 3 of you for being such wonderful people. I'm sorry if I've ever frightened or upset you. I regret it. You're beautiful. I'm so grateful you're here. And then she heads out and then moves back to be with Rascal.
Whatever
Hello,
she's on, I
Gordine.
want some.
Hey, Captain, would you mind moving over a chair so Max can squeeze in?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Ooh, I'm snuggled between 2 protective gentlemen.
And then
No.
So, guys, a couple things that is odd about Rascal this morning. One, he's not wearing his gloves, which have been a fixture since his original outfit. And those who aren't in the know about this would notice that on the back of his left hand is a black circle. Like, just a absence, a void. A gaping abyss about the size of a copper coin. Funny that. Also, his breakfast has an inordinate amount of eggs involved. And I hope that someone else other than D has actually noticed this, but Rascal hasn't been rather fond of eggs. Like, every time this, like, full Irish, as the Kobold seems to call it, whatever an Irish is, has been presented to Rascal, he's avoided the eggs like a plague.
Yep. Also, while that's happening, Mads raises her hand and waves over at Nola and says, Nola, come over. Nola. Come here.
Me?
Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Nola.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning. Hi.
I have a challenge for you today.
Oh no.
No, it's a good challenge.
Oh.
It's a helpful challenge. Your challenge is to breathe in and breathe out.
Oh, I can do that. I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I breathe a lot. It's like.
Now, everyone.
Ooh.
Nola's a part of our family now, and I think that's important that we recognize that.
I am.
Yes. You've
How
been
did
helping
that
us
happen?
this whole time. It's called friendship. It's magical.
Oh.
And Nola, you never, ever have to be afraid while you're with us. We'll protect you. We'll take care of you. I want you to know that.
That's nice, I think.
I want you to know that you're safe here with us. Always. Okay?
Okay. And Nola kind of looks around at the others, saying like, what is happening?
Peach just looks confused and a little uncomfortable. He's gonna side whisper, like stage whisper, actually, to Ashwood. Did she find that brimmerweed she was after?
As far as I understand, no.
Her eyes are not dilated.
Something is clearly off.
Yeah, I mean, Rascal's using utensils for once.
Uh,
I just
Well,
picture that being like, Mads
Bing just
is talking nice, Hunter is pissy, and Rascal's using utensils? Chaos!
Yeah.
Bing just plays his lyre just a little louder to try and distract people.
The inside wasn't about Nola, it was about Matt and Rascal, by the way.
Dave comes over and deposits Mad's requested breakfast in front of her.
So, okay, Ashford, you were inciting
Meat
Rascal.
appears to be cut and mashed sausages
yes.
smushed into a patty.
Him and Mads, technically, but
Whoops, I accidentally made that public, but there you go, Journist.
Alright. What is Ashford wanting to know?
well, what the fuck is going on? Would be a great starting point, but we can go from there.
You got a nat 20, so why don't you tell me what you think the deal is of Rascal Skyreach? From what you know of him so far.
Well, it seems that aside from no longer giving a shit about his cover, so to speak, he has decided that no, I'm no longer playing the role of a bard, and he's moved, quote unquote, back to his gladiator days. Would that be somewhere in the ballpark?
Okay, you got a nat 20. You've known Rascal for 6 days now.
Are you trying to play that?
You know that he does not understand a lot of things about this part of the world. You
Yeah,
know
but
that he has struggled to adapt.
And he's thrown away something that he thought was the most important thing ever outside of Mads, namely the libretto to the opera.
Okay. Let's just say this.
So that's clear. That's clearly a lot of moving parts. Show that this is not the Rascal that he knew before.
Yeah, the nat 20 would betray that. Yeah, maybe Rascal has figured out that all these tales of high heroics and whatnot aren't all they're cracked up to be when exposed to harsh reality.
Still, it is important to hold on to your dreams and hopes. Anyway,
Now,
yeah.
you said you also incited Mads?
Yeah, though I'm fairly certain that the focus was due to the shock factor of him throwing the program away was on Rascal. So
No, it's nothing to do with Rascal.
No. Ashwood's focus was on Rascal, not on necessarily on Matt, because yeah, she has her unusual moments, but
okay, I misunderstood.
That felt like a 180 for Rascal.
Yeah.
Speaking of what the hell's going on with Rascal, let's describe the process of eating the food, shall we? Because it's actually important. First, he sniffs the absolute ever-loving fuck out of the eggs. It's like very slow, very deliberate, and there's a bit of hesitation to everything he does. It's all rather slow and deliberate. And as he grabs a knife and fork and just starts cutting into the egg, it's like just analyzing as it moves and as it hangs in the air as he moves it towards his snout. And as he opens his mouth, he just suddenly shovels it in and gulps hard.
Mads nods approvingly.
And there's it's practically gripping the side, the table as he swallows, as if he's expecting himself to blow up or something. And as that doesn't happen, he eases up a bit and starts eating more egg. A bit quicker every time. Till eventually he starts eating normally. No. Not the first time I've eaten eggs. Just the first time I've eaten eggs in a long while.
Mads leans over and whispers into Rascal's ears. Or ear.
Sure, go for it. Rascal just looks up at Mads and hats her like laugh and just goes, "Yeah, you're pretty much the only one who sees to a twig that me and Eggs haven't exactly gotten along, sweetie."
I know. I think I know why, and I pay attention to everything you do.
To be fair, us kobolds have a bit of a weird relationship with eggs. I mean, we kind of spend all our lives making sure we protect our nests, and
Bing,
kind
bing,
of
bing,
yeah.
bing, bing, bing.
Zip.
Mads is like waving her hands, like
No,
stop
no, I want to talk about it.
it. Okay.
Bing
Sorry.
is pretty close. But you
Yeah.
had to guess yourself.
It's not dinner. It's not breakfast conversation. It's.
No, I'd like you to talk. I'd like you to share, please, because every time we start to get close to talking about things, something gets in the way, and it keeps getting pushed to the back.
Survival makes people do difficult things.
That your guess, huh?
She nods and lowers her head. She looks a little ashamed.
Oh, well.
In her defense, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yes. You can.
Birds of a feather, I suppose.
Well, you're all rather more perceptive than I gave you credit for. Yes, back in Calumport, after the powers that be saw fit to tear me and my bardic tutor and first lady love, Lifeheart, apart, I took issue with that. So when I was out in the arena the next time, I took my aggressions out on the crowd and fun to wave the ever-loving shit out of them. They took exception to that, so I was tossed into prison. And left to rot, basically. No food, no water. I was a slave, no one was coming for me. I don't know how long I was in there. Weeks, months. And then suddenly, one day, they tossed a plate of eggs through the door. And, well, kobolds live to survive, so without thinking, I gulped 3 of those eggs down and took a bite into the 4th. I was expecting a yolk. There wasn't a yolk. They were fertilized kobold eggs. I ate children. And I didn't even know about it.
Mads
Of course,
nods.
But they made you do that.
Final act of cruelty. That was the day I was freed. Rascal raises the back of his hand and points to the black circle. This is normally not all black. It only becomes all black once the blood price has been paid. Turns out that Lifeheart gave her life to free me. The only reminder I have of her is my lute, a Liverosier minor, finest of its kind. And he swings his lute around and points to the scratch marks that are on it. She may have given up her life, but evidently she fought along the way. Just like her to not make it easier for him.
And Mads whispers again into Rascal's ear.
But, yeah, that was the day I was freed. Of course, freedom in Calumport, especially when you're a kobold, only grants you a head start. They weren't just going to let me go on my way, so the moment I was freed, I had to run from the prison all the way to the docks. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with Calumport, but it's a much bigger city than Waterdeep. It's at least twice the size. I found my way onto a ship where I basically hid in a barrel the entire time, only emerging to steal some food, and he pulls out his copy of Volo's Guide to Monsters. Some poor wizard's reading material. It was very helpful. I found a lot out that, in a survival situation, it's normal for kobolds to eat their eggs, but it didn't really make me feel any better at the time.
Mads nods, and that's when she whispers. She wouldn't interrupt his story.
Sweetie, I think you're right about that. I hope you're right, because that would make it all a bit more worth it, but at this point I don't believe in things about fate and destiny. It just seems to be all a great big fucking massive chaos, and...
To be fair, Rascal, how do you think my people came to be?
I wouldn't know.
Basically, if it wasn't for one brave little kobold, a crazy wizard, a big beefy lion man, and a sneaky Kenku, my people would still be slaves.
Oh, so the play wasn't bullshitting about that part, then?
No, the whole thing was true. I mean, Archmate, as far as I know, they're all still alive somewhere in this city, so...
Well, I'm glad the events of the play were true, even though the depiction of the play was not. I mean, for fuck's sakes, the kobolds weren't even played by kobolds! The Kenku wasn't played by a Kenku! I mean, that's just friggin' unfair! It's cruel!
That bothered me too.
They took a real life story and, dressed it up in a bunch of, falsehoods, just so rich assholes could feel better about themselves and pretend they're cultured.
Oh, don't worry, sweetie. I have plans for that.
Yeah. To be
fair, I would say Rascal isn't exactly being quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, to be fair, stories always kind of get embellished.
Yeah, well, when all this is over, I'm gonna open a playhouse. That's a theater playhouse, before any of you get dirty ideas. And I'm gonna get the rights to help, to bloody put on that play myself, and the kobolds will be played by kobolds, and the Kenku will be played by a friggin' Kenku!
Mads is grinning so big, and she says, "We can put the playhouse next to the academy."
Blythepark taught me, all these fanciful stories about great big grand heroes who always save the day, get the princess, become great kings. But reality doesn't hold up to that scrutiny.
Rascal.
She was gonna tell me about something called nuance, but she never got round to that lesson.
I've never heard of that.
Events.
Rascal.
I reckon when I write stories about what's happened to us, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Rascal.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I can be completely honest, my parents fought in that revolution. What they told me about the Blue Dragon, what they did to the human cultists, yeah, sometimes some things need sugarcoating.
Oh, no, don't worry. I get it. I mean, these fanciful tales are great ways to get people dreaming of better things and to get them out of bed in the morning, but it's harmful if people think that's how life works out.
Or if they think that it works that way for everyone just because it works that way for them.
Exactly. Good doesn't always triumph. That's what I found out.
That's what the Academy's going to be for.
Yeah, but sometimes good ain't always on the side of good, and evil ain't always on the side of evil.
Yeah, I'm finding that out. Just looks at the general company he keeps.
and she looks around, and Mads looks around at the others and says, "The difference
you
is."
feel almost personally attacked by that statement. Also, you are not subtle.
I'm pretty sure Vizan knows what's up. He ain't gonna hold it personally. It's like, yeah, no, that's me.
What was that?
And Mads is all like, looks to the assembled group and says, "I think the real difference, is when you're doing something for real love.
That's true enough.
So, Rascal.
You know, and that's how you figure it out. That's how you figure out whether you're on the right side or not.
What I do from now on is for my love of you, he points to Mads, all of you, gestures to the party, and everyone and everything around this tavern, and our neighbors too. I'm not gonna worry about carrying the weight of the world onto my shoulders. I'm just gonna protect what matters, and what matters is all of you.
Yeah, I don't want your shoulders to get dislocated. They're so handsome.
That's all you need to do.
Anywho, I believe you wanted to say something, Ashford?
I just want to tell you something about stories, why they exist, what their purpose is, but I don't think I could dissuade you from your view on things. But stories like this, they teach us something. Even if the good doesn't always prevail instantly, it is something that we can aspire to, that we can try to become. If I had not decided to try to better myself, not tried to fall, to get away, and maybe even fall, hey, I don't know, I would still be, I would probably be in jail right now, to be honest.
I'm glad you're here
Still back home. But no, I've tried to do better, and that's why I joined the military after all. Because I too have dreams and beliefs. Don't get me wrong. I completely understand your view on things. And I know that things don't always turn out the way they should turn out if we follow the stories. Trust me, I'm quite often quite angry about it. But if we let things just happen and say, whatever, bad always wins, or things don't turn out the way they should, at least in my book, then we still have the power to change that. We can still do the good. We can still grow to be better than what has been set before us. And that's what the stories are about, at least from my point of view. I rest my case.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not forgetting that. I'm just coming to the realization that maybe the methods I use to achieve the most good don't always have to be the squeaky clean methods of fanciful heroes from days of yore.
Well, Rascal, like I said, you watched that opera. You think that wizard actually knew what he was doing?
Well, they sure painted it as much in the script! But I'm glad to know that, yeah, no, he's as full of shit as I thought he was.
Oh yeah, the guy was a con artist.
I should probably talk. Speaking of con artists, I should probably talk about one of the members of our unit who sold us out back then. And that's the question why I was going to ask you to figure out if there's any drow in that organization that you were investigating.
Oh, now we're talking about work, are we?
It's not work. Well, it was work. He was a member of our unit, a drow. He had joined us. I'm sorry, Mads. Did you want to say something?
No. She looks over at Vizan and tries to send a message wordlessly to him. I don't know if I need to do a performance or not, and I'm just going to keep it between us unless everyone incites it or whatever.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the room, Runel finishes off his coffee and stands up, looks over to Hunter and says, "Well, as delightful as this company is, I'm afraid I do need to go and do some work. I have contracts to sign and bureaucratic nonsense. Hopefully, if all goes well, I should be able to return here around the evening, if you'd like to meet up with me again."
Oh, I can meet up with you. Sorry. Those Sour Patch Kids really get you fast. Okay.
Get it right, Rob. There's a bag of chips in it for you.
Yes, I would love that.
Well then, have a good day, my dear. Hopefully I'll see you later on. And looking still a little embarrassed, he leans forward and gives you a little peck on the cheek. And just gently gives you a little rub on the cheek with his hand as he leans away. With a little smile and a nod to Gordain.
Does Mads see that? Does Mads see and hear that happening?
I would say yes.
As Hunter, the moment Lord Fairwind starts to walk away, like she lets him get just distant enough for this to work, and she calls out, "We've seen you both naked."
I've seen me
kind
naked. I
of
haven't seen him
stops
naked.
at the door and turns back round. And you can see the shock on his face, and then he like, "My lady, I was wearing undergarments."
You just kind of hear Bing just play one note, like,
Oh my god, you are not subtle. She is very slowly crawling across my desk to try and steal the cheesecake Colin just gave me.
Who can blame her?
And every time she creeps forward, she pushes the mouse.
It's not cheesecake, it's your cake.
Yeah.
That was a good. I did it. That's a good
That
one.
was a good one.
Damn.
Yeah.
I have-
Wow.
I have mastered the ability to move so slowly, no one notices I'm there.
Now I have a yes. I have a question for the GM.
Yep.
How close did they get to Mad's effort since she's about to tuck into her Five Geyser?
Basically, whenever you said meat, what they did is it looks like they took the skin off some sausages and mushed it together into this weird, like, patty type thing with some bacon on top. There's also, like, 2 types of cheese because they couldn't decide which one you wanted. There's also a bit of lettuce and some fried tomato on there. The bread, it's just like the giant Belfast baps where it looks like it was just a small loaf of bread that was just cut in half.
Yes.
That's
How's it
taste?
Like anything that the Robert Mann cookers, chefs managed to eat, it's delicious.
Ooh, so it's not close, but it's good.
It's nowhere near close. It's sausage, meat, and bacon.
Yeah.
It's not Five Guys. They're on a French fries and
I don't know what you're
Coke.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is Five Geyser. You should understand that there's a difference, especially. It's a rare German delicacy. It's a rare German delicacy. Five Geyser.
Yes, of course, of course.
And so
it comes out of the city of Cheeseburg, and someone.
Yes, the city of Cheeseburg, and she takes a bite, and she's like, still not right, but this is really good. And then she starts eating. Someday I'll figure out a way to explain it. I'm not so good at explaining things. Noah, what's your story?
What?
I just want to know more about you. Nom nom.
At night I sleep, and in the daytime I don't, and then sometimes I eat things like this plate here. I've been eating stuff all morning long. It's in me now. I'm actively digesting.
Okay.
I'm
At
focusing on
that. May I please make an insight on that?
Sure.
Bing
Sure.
has to play his lyre a little louder again.
That's a 7. Seems legit, I guess.
Yes, and
I have a feeling that
her as well.
maybe she's anorexic. She's not. She's hiding the fact that she's not eating properly.
Well,
Oh,
I
poor
have
thing.
rolled the same. I have rolled insight, but since I'm not exhausted, I have a 17.
Okay. She's acting real weird about this. She's also very weird about keeping covered up.
Is anything the matter, Miss Skeletor?
I don't know. Isn't everything made of matter?
I'm an uneducated kobold, but I believe that is the case.
Yeah.
I got it right.
Noah, do you not want to be our friends?
Yes, no, yes.
No, really. Do you want to be our friends?
I mean, I don't have any other friends, so this would be nice.
Friends? It's just the way you're acting. You're always acting scared and secretive, and I used to do that, and it's
just shy.
no way to be. And well, here's the deal. I'm gonna have to roll a deception because Mads is not secretive.
I think she's just shy. You know, she's you're not used to people. She's just kind of having difficulty coming out of a shell. You know.
Guess I'm gonna have to roll insight against
That's roll
deception.
Mads,
something's up.
Mads, you've known me for 6 days, and you haven't been this intentive on digging up my tragic backstory.
That's because I'm in love with you.
Oh, so I'm allowed to have secrets.
Well, no, you see the difference is, here's the deal. You guys, you Rascal, you would not, I would be doing this for you if you were like saying, I'm just a kobold and I don't do anything important when I know you're a big important person. That's the thing. I know, I can tell who you are. But when somebody says there's nothing interesting about them, nothing, that just makes me more interested.
I mean, as long as Nola doesn't turn out to be a filthy traitor like Isla was, I don't mind.
Yeah, you're not going to betray us, are you, Nola?
Yeah, that's kind of important considering yesterday's events.
I no, to whom?
Can you really call?
Look, so I know.
I don't know. Can you really call somebody who was just told to watch you was? Can you really? Bing's basically trying to change the subject at this point. Can you really call someone who was really just told to watch you by the city a traitor if they really weren't with you to begin with?
Yeah, no, it's kind of on us for letting her in at all, let's be honest.
Bing, she tried to kill my babies.
I know, I'm just saying that since she didn't exactly like you guys to begin with, you can't really call her a traitor.
She tried to kill my babies.
I mean, I don't know. Hunter! Was Isla a traitor?
Yeah, come over, Hunter.
I'm just saying that she didn't really like you guys to begin with, so...
Still, there is a difference between telling on someone or between not being an ally and pretending that you died for their sake and then stabbing them in the back by actively going on the hands. Wouldn't you agree, Bing?
Bing just kind of shrugged it out. I suppose so, but still.
Yeah, you'll feel differently when you're a parent one day, Bing.
Confused who was walking on their hands?
But yes, Nola, you are a little bit... I hope you don't mind me saying that. You are a bit curious sometimes.
I tell you, she's just shy.
I don't know how some things work, so I do get curious.
That is just the prime example. You are constantly insisting on things that are normal, that, yes, you do them just like every normal being. Well,
What's normal for the spider is chaos for the fly.
Well,
Exactly. She's just very shy, that's all.
Well, yeah, that's obvious. What I'm trying to do is, lately, in the last couple of days, we've all been sharing things about ourselves, and it's made me feel really, like, I know what you said, Rascal, but the fact is, I've really enjoyed hearing things from everybody about where they've come from and what brought them here, and Nola has always been kind of nervous around us, and I really just want her to be calm.
I mean, hasn't she known us for like only a day tops?
Yeah,
Well, that's like a month. But...
Yeah! That's the thing. it all took us this long. That's you. Oh, Rascal, thank you. You've expressed it. What I'm trying to say. We wasted a lot of time being scared of telling each other things. Nola doesn't have to do that. So that's we can save they could save her time. Oh, Nola, I should probably tell you, I'm a witch from the fungal forest. It's very far away. And I've had kind of a wild life. And I come from another world. That's where the fungal forest is. And what else is interesting about me, Rascal? What else should I tell her?
I mean, I could name everything, but then we'd be here all day.
Well, Rascal. Oh, and I've been very dangerous for a lot of my life, but then I fell in love with Rascal, and now I'm going to be happy forever. Plus, I'm pregnant.
At that, Nola's eyes kind of get so wide that the one that looks like a Muppet eye falls out and clatters on the table, and she quickly picks it up, puts it back in.
Do we notice that?
Bing tries to distract you as that happens. Oh, you're pregnant. That won't work out, huh?
What the hell?
So do we have to roll a perception to see that happening?
Yeah.
Do they get disadvantage because Bing is trying to distract them?
Yeah, I'm fine with disadvantage because
Hello,
Mads is
Howard.
so fickle.
Yeah, never mind. It's just Matt was like, tell her, talk about me, Rascals are saying. Just thinking about all the lovely features Matt has.
I love the fact that that's apparently going to work.
Meanwhile,
I
Vizan's
love
just
it.
sitting in the corner trying to think of an opportunity to bring up the stone.
Yeah, well, and a few other things. But
Oh,
yeah.
Dennis, please.
Yes, please, I beg of you.
He's trying to be polite. He's so uncomfortable right now with this topic of conversation.
You
Here,
heard
do you want to
mention
brush?
something about a drow.
Do you want a brash kobold to help you out? So instead of like torturing Nola over her life story, how about we get to work?
That's perfect. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about whatever we're going to talk about.
Well,
Huh?
Nola, you're glad I fell out.
I got hurt some, but it was a bird.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
you
people
know,
have glass eyes. They lose eyes all the time. You'll have a glass one in there, no one notices.
Yeah, and I'm covered in scars, so it's not that odd.
can
To
I
be
ask a
fair,
question
Bing
now?
now has a majestic beard, so
Did Mads notice that?
it's very obvious.
Yeah,
At this
and
stage
so
now,
she's
Bing
just
looks
gonna.
like a tiny Vizan.
Okay, I'm gonna. No, I mean the eye.
Sorry, what?
The eye. Did she did a perception check on the eye popping out?
Yes, so did I. I'm fairly certain that I saw it.
With this, oh, I did do disadvantage, so I got to do another one. That's
Yeah.
what's going on.
Hey.
Okay.
How about I roll a sleight of hand?
Yeah.
Okay,
what I was trying to
that's
think of.
fine.
Roll sleight
That's
of hand.
fine.
I would say, Mads, you'd notice it. Ashford, you would notice it as well. But Nola is like pretty quick, so you assume it's
Yeah,
something's a little
It's
weird
just a-
with her eye.
it's just a glass eye.
Probably.
Yeah, because I have no interest out of character in breaking her her issues. So Mads is like, ooh, and she just kind of then she gets distracted by the beard.
Well, as I was saying, Inquisitive Izan,
Yes, Ashwood. Hello.
we had as I was telling, we had a drawback when I was part of the military. Long story. Well, we were ambushed one night, and it was funny that he had appeared beforehand, and I've gotten word that he might have joined with a certain group of people, and that is why I was interested whether or not you could find out if this lovely fellow is around. Fairly certain he's using different names now.
You're looking for a specific drow.
Possibly. I was told he might have joined up with those. Then again, he might have already been shoved into water by you know who.
Yeah, we need to find a drow, and we need to find that tattoo man.
Are you
Yeah,
alright there, Gumble Toes?
It's the bird again.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm fine. And yes, it's a performance. He's coughing incessantly.
But Matt
So
says,
sounds like
and
he's got something stuck in his throat.
don't forget the man with the tattoos. I'm still worried about him. He needs to die too.
You mean
I clearly have missed a few things. Look, he actually, Peachy actually does look to Bing and Nola. I don't mean to be rude to the two of you, but he looks to the rest of the group. Is everything that I can say to you in regards to our history and... Actually, do you mind if we were to relocate somewhere else? I feel a little exposed here.
I mean, yeah, I've been trying like 3 times to get us to move to the common room so we can talk business.
Yes.
Why don't I do this? Hey, hot chocolate for everybody up in the common room, guys.
So, if you're all going to convene up there, I'm going to do a sweep of the entire tavern with Detect Magic first.
I'll come with
Considering we
you,
have to break in case
Rascal.
Isla left something behind.
That
Suddenly,
may be the
like,
best
Mads
idea.
turns color.
We will be opening for the breakfast rush soon. We do get quite a number of people in for breakfast. It seems our chefs seem to gather quite the crowd.
Peachy actually picks up on that, and over the group's heads he says, how popular is the tavern doing? If you don't mind me asking.
It seems to be gaining quite a reputation.
I'm very, very glad to hear that.
Enjoy the food, others enjoy the pricing, convenient location. There are a number who come just because of these little critters, and he points down to the cats who are now searching around for any scraps of food that Dave hasn't cleaned up yet. And while he's talking too, there's just a kitten on Gordane's shoulder.
Love it.
And with the
Wonderful.
addition of games, I'm fairly certain that might be a point of interest for some as well.
Yeah, it's a shame you didn't arrive before the madness happened yesterday, Vizan. We were having a nice game night.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I've been a little bit, well, that's part of the conversation, I think, the
Oh,
word
yes.
conversation.
Definitely.
Speaking of, we had to remove the dartboard. There was a bit of an incident last night.
Don't
What
tell me
happened?
One of the dwarves threw that at another dwarf.
I was thinking that dwarf threw an axe at the dartboard instead. You know, thinking they're being clever.
Well, it wasn't an axe. It was a javelin.
Ah!
Great.
Yes, not
They
to
were
profile,
trying to be
but I've
clever.
seen that before.
Mad stands up and reaches out her hand for Rascal.
I wonder which dwarf could be responsible for that.
One of the many proud dwarves of the Escobar line!
There you got it,
Amazingly, the tavern is Escobar proof. Woo!
Yes.
Strong foundations!
You
That had to
think
be,
it
considering
is.
the owner likes to do thunder blast from underneath.
Yeah.
180.
Yes. And then so Mads is just trying to put on this big show, and she's like reaching out like it's the end of a romantic movie, and she's like, Rascal.
My lady.
And yeah, and she's got her hand out.
For the sake
For
of
him to
brevity, I'm
take.
just going to drag these all upstairs.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's the point.
So, Mads presumably trails Rascal around as he detects magic all over the place.
Yep. And
Okay.
she's like,
So, you cast Detect Magic. Aside from the magical items that you are aware your party carries, you sense a very strong magical essence on the outer walls of the tavern.
That's presumably Penfold's new enhanced protection.
Doesn't it?
You assume so, yes.
I mean, I'll pop my head out of Rascal's and Mads' window to check.
Yeah, it seems to be the walls itself.
Okay, good. Speaking of our room, how disheveled is it?
Oh, it just looks like someone was rummaging through your stuff.
Well, I presume, as long as Mads doesn't have any objection, they'll tidy up their room first, get it back in ship shape.
She absolutely would help with that, and
Yeah.
and then she would sing a little jaunty song, and it would go like this: Alia has to die, and we all know why. Alia has to pay, and she will one day.
Rascal provides musical backing.
While that's going on, I fucking love that, by the way. While that's going on, just one very tiny thing. Vaizan does want to mention to Hunter that I must say, first time seeing Lord Fairwind in the flesh. No pun intended. I apologize, but I must say, I do approve. He seems like a good catch. You've done well, ma'am. To Hunter. But anyway, yeah. That's pretty much it. Just Peach here basically saying, yeah, it seems alright.
At least he's no hoity-toity.
Yes, exactly. Some of those nobles are so full of themselves.
Yeah, it must be like a material plane thing or something.
Under their clothes, they're all just scared cats.
Even the humans?
Hunter, you are
You
aware
can
that
tell-
Lord Fairwind does tend to share that view that a lot of the higher-ranking nobles are assholes. So then, you have gathered in the common room.
Yes, we are.
You have hot chocolate that was brought up to you by Dave.
Mads is just like inhaling it like it's Vicks Vapor Rub. She's like,
Oh, yeah. Ditto. I like to imagine they do it in tandem. Perfect tandem. Synchronized sippies.
So then, Vaizan, is there something you want to ask?
Yes. So, he looks over to Bing and Noella, and then to Rascal and the rest of the group. I want to be very, very clear that should any of this information leave this room, it would most likely result in my death. Now, I, like many of you, gave Zafira a little bit of trust, and we all know where that went. So you can understand I'm a little trepidatious about putting cards on the table in front of mixed company. No offense intended to either of you.
Oh, none taken, I understand.
To be honest, Bing is pretty much the complete opposite of Zafira. You can hear, you can really hear the. You can hear the vitriol and the anger seeping through her last name. And you notice, by the way, that that silly little accent has been suspiciously absent the last few minutes.
Well, I would like to preface everything that I say with the greatest of respect, and this is no way intended as any sort of threat. But if anyone tries to use this against me, I will not go alone. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
We're kind of used to this.
Yes. Well, my organization has been looking for a certain artifact for a while.
The Stoner Galore.
Yes.
We have it.
I know. He just glares at Bing. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
He
you know what the
paused
best
it.
part is?
Yes.
Do you know
Do
what the
tell
best
me.
part
It's in response to Vizan saying that. Because
Here's-
Ashwood notices that he was the one who screwed up.
Oh, okay. Well, just so we're on the same page. When you're talking about traitors and everything, I was initially employed to infiltrate this group on the hope that you would somehow stumble across the stone, and I could then sequester it and bring it to my employers.
Do you still want it?
What?
Do you want it?
Yeah, like I said, the thing's cursed, so
I mean, well, I was planning to use it to help you track down the Xanathar, and then it's.
Wait, what? Okay. I'm a little confused here. How does a stone have anything in relation to the Xanathar?
Oh, you can ask it questions and it has to answer.
3 times a day.
Oh.
Well, not necessarily free.
Up to.
Yeah, it's kind of random.
yeah. I should probably roll a dice for that.
Yeah, roll a d3.
Interesting. That's interesting. But no. I'm so sorry. To get back to the
roll a d3.
Sure you can. You just gotta be creative.
Yeah, roll a d4 even.
1d3, you got a 1.
Okay, so it has 1 charge.
Good. We need that for the most important question.
But yes, I was initially part of this group pretty much to spy on you and to make sure I could acquire the stone for my organization. However, since Sammy and all that has happened since, let's just say my organization's desires and my personal interests, there may be a slight misalignment. Of course, if they were to find out about it, that would be an instant death sentence for me. So if we could, again, keep this within the room.
So if you're not doing this on behalf of the Black Network anymore, what do you want?
I want to make sure that our tavern survives and thrives. And so far, it seems you're doing a fantastic job.
I'm glad we're on the same page, Vizan. The tavern above all else.
This is our home.
It's important to have something like that. Not really something I've been able to acquire for myself.
Well, I think that as long as you're nice, this can be a safe place for you to always come, as long as you're nice.
Don't
I
know
appreciate
what your
that.
family would say, what your wife would say, but
Yes, about that. Keeping something from her would probably be a good thing. My wife's what we would call a true believer in the Zentarum. She is the reason I joined. We met during the whole Tiamat thing. Don't take this the wrong way, Rascal, but you really do remind me of her in some ways.
I mean, I gotta take that as a compliment.
Oh, but it's intended as a compliment.
I mean, she convinced you to join the Zentarum, so that implies I have real power.
so your wife, is that the redhead that we that sat by your table?
No, that's a completely different. That's another story. But no.
Sorry, I did not mean to impose.
Oh no, that's my emerald. That's again limited time. We'll get to that one day.
Adopted child, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Not quite that, Ashwood, but yeah.
Rascal,
and
do me a little favor. And
Oh boy, here we
roll
go.
me a history check real quick.
Me of all people. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boop. 7.
Many days ago, you do remember when Mad smeared herself with the remnants of Vizan's dinner. There was a small red kobold at his table.
Black kobold.
Black kobold. Damn it, I thought she was red. My bad. There was a kobold at his table.
Wasn't there a kobold at your table? Black scale?
Oh yes, Lady de Silva. Yes,
her.
yes. I don't know if I've actually mentioned her or not. She was a traveling companion. My wife and I were hired as her security, and she was hired by this mage or something from the coast. It was a whole expedition into Chult. Didn't really go the way we wanted. Halfway through the trip down there, we received word that funding had been cancelled. So my wife and I, felt a little. We felt that rather than waste the trip, we would accompany Lady De Silva on her archaeological expedition. Didn't quite find what she was looking for, at least I don't believe we did, but along the way, we found Emerald. At least that's what I call her. This again, I don't mean to be rude. This is more personal and less work related, if you don't mind.
Thing
Yeah,
is
we're
kind
kind
of
of getting
nodding
sidetracked.
Things kind of
yes.
nodding rapidly as it say, "Don't ask. I'll explain later."
No, but anyway, the point I was trying to make earlier is that my wife is a true believer with the Zentarum. For me, I would consider it more a job. Ah, yes, and that was the point I was trying to make. Yes, you do remind me a little of my wife. Both of you are, how do I put this? Your gravity wells of morality. You drag everyone around you along your path.
Mad slowly raises her hand.
Yes, Lady Madeline.
No, what you're saying.
Indeed. You have him, I have her.
No, I mean the other thing. It's okay, go on.
Oh, well. Yes, you've actually lost me there too, my dear.
Sorry. No,
Please
go on.
carry on, Captain.
Yes. But anyway, she is a very forceful personality, and I've done a lot of things over the past 20 years to impress her, shall we say.
Rascal looks back at Matt. Starting to see the similarities.
Indeed. But yes, having something for myself that will hopefully be a very nice nest egg for us, a nice retirement for the future is what I really want.
I gotcha. Keep it all hush-hush so that when you can surprise her with it, she won't want to kill you for it.
You put the nail on the head there, yes.
I believe we can all keep this hush-hush from the wife on your behalf, Captain.
Of course.
Literally, you have saved my skin, so thank you.
You're very much welcome.
So, first of all, I would like to say I am officially in your debt, and I take my debt seriously. So, my intention with the stone. At the moment, well, I do believe we had a brief discussion about what I suggested to you about what you should do with the stone, and indeed the money. I hold true to my earlier statement. I don't think that any of us should have it. I think it's too much. It is too dangerous. It is too damaging.
The stone? Yeah, damn right. There's something in there. And it ain't nice.
No, he's talking about the money, not about the stone.
Ooh. You hear that in the back of your head, Bing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really so much about the stone, it's the money and what it can do.
Mads actually does interrupt at that. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, interrupt, yeah.
Mads interrupts and says, I need some of it. It's for something important.
Oh, the bed. Yes,
No.
I remember I was there.
No, I've changed my mind about that. That's not even... I need enough to build my academy.
Academy?
Yeah. I decided what I wanted to do with as much as I might need. I need some to make the academy. It'll be a special school for orphans.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that
Yes.
certain people in this city would be very pleased to hear that.
Maybe. She has a glimmer in her eye. Maybe. Maybe not. But yeah, the academy. I need to keep at least that much. We need to keep at least enough for the academy. I'll need some help figuring out how much it's going to cost to do what I want to do. But
Cross
Well,
that
I
bridge when
always-
you come to it, sweetie.
Yeah, I mean, I could always ask friends.
Rich friends that are associated with the Harpers.
The who now?
Harpers!
Blink, blink.
We're Harpers. And
Yes.
Mads opens the thing up to show the upside down symbol inside of her coat. Her blouse.
Yeah, full disclosure, Rascal points to himself. Harper points to Matt Harper, points to Ashford Harper, points to Hunter Harper, points to Big Harper.
Mads has this look like she's showing off something amazing, and she kind of tilts her head and goes, kind of like spinning, almost like she would be spinning in her chair if it swiveled and going, "Can you believe I'm a Harper, Captain?"
No, wow. That's absolute polite horror. Well, I honestly thought I was being dramatic when I said this information could kill me. Huh?
Captain.
We are Rascal's rescuers first, Harper's second.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad we're on the same page there.
We are not here to put people out on the street who just happen to be affiliated with certain people.
I mean, you
Well,
said it yourself. You said it yourself. The Zentarum are a legitimate business, and so are the Harpers, and legitimate businesses can work together towards a common good.
He just sort of repressed a snort at the whole legitimate business.
Well, they are both registered organizations, so at least on the paper, the gods are the same in a sense.
Besides, Captain, this Harper is going to lend you a hand.
Well, that's deeply appreciated. Yep. Yeah, I got that whisper. Madeline,
Yes.
you know our first meeting, our little, shall we say, our little walk.
Oh, you mean when I killed the guy?
What?
When Max became a member of the Zentarum.
No,
Yes.
the player knows that. That was the character.
I know. Rascal just told you.
That.
Yeah, I really needed to kill that guy.
Okay,
What are you reacting that way for, Ashford? You've done that a lot too.
True, but
I mean, you gotta remember the kind of person Matt was like just 5 days ago.
I told Rascal.
Okay.
For clarification, this was someone who technically did deserve it. This was
Yeah, they
someone
were an evil criminal. I was being a superhero.
Yes. Unfortunately, technically speaking, you are an official member of the Zentarum, which means that now that you are an official member of the Harpers, you are technically speaking, a traitor to be hunted down and killed by any and all Zentarum.
Hold on, Captain. Hold on.
Well, Captain, if I
we've
may.
all. Okay, you go ahead, Ashford.
If I may.
My life.
Well,
My life. Go ahead.
there is always something to be gained if you know someone who is in the other organization. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, didn't you, basically ask me to feed you information from the Harpers, Captain?
Oh, let's be honest, there are spies on both sides. It's just the way it is. Everyone's in everyone else's pocket.
Now, what I was going to show you, in case you hadn't noticed, Captain, in case you haven't noticed, and she looks around, very dramatically, and she points to the badge, which she has on upside down, and says, "The badge is upside down, Captain."
He is an anti-Harper.
He is pinching the bridge of his nose and he's trying not to have an aneurysm.
So I bet you're really glad that you're finding out what's been happening with us these past few days.
Yes, I've missed quite a bit. I've missed this so much.
By the way, Mads is convinced that this should explain everything to all of you. 100%.
I get to see Peachy's sad to understand why Alia wanted to punch Mads.
It's so obvious. I mean, I've never worn it right side up, Captain. It's always been every time I've shown it.
I would personally keep your affiliation on the down low. That's what the kids say these days. The youth, yes, the down low.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not. The only time I show anyone the Harper's badge is when I know it'll impress them.
Again, I would like to impress the fact that
Not
That
everyone
would be a
should see
problem.
that.
yes,
The Zentarum don't know what a spy is?
Oh, they do know, I believe.
Well, I think we all know who I'm loyal to,
Yes, Rascal.
right?
Yep, pretty much.
No.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, they do take people sitting on fences. They do take offense at that.
Oh, I'm not a fence on a fence.
I mean, to be fair, Captain, Mads wasn't entirely aware of what she was signing up for when she joined the Zentarum.
I don't think that matters, sweetie.
I know, I'm just pointing it out. I mean, surely if we have a discussion at some point, we could just, get her let off the hook, especially if a large amount of gold was involved.
You know, that wouldn't be a terrible idea. I will see what I can do.
You don't think you... Guys, I don't think you figured it out. I'm a spy.
I guess I think what the Captain is implying that the Zentarum has enough spies.
Yeah.
Not like do they have enough like me, Captain?
There's no one like you, Madeline.
That's where I would approach it then. You can tell them that they've never had a spy like me.
I will do everything I can to deal with this.
And Mads is now swaying back and forth in
Now,
her chair a
For
little
what
bit.
it's worth, I ain't saying nothing, so...
That is appreciated.
And
He
for
looks,
that-
he
I'm
looks
going
like he needs the biggest fucking drink right now.
And this has to be said at this point. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep dominating, but she's swaying in her chair, and she says, "I'm going to marry Rascal. I'm going to be a spy. I'm going to work for the Zentarum, for the Harpers, and I'm going to win the money in the bank, and I'm going to build the academy and be a professional detective and work outside of the academy, and then burn Waterdeep to the ground, except for the tavern."
Mads,
Kind
you
of...
might be getting a little bit out of step with your plans. Running down the city,
Yeah.
not really necessary. If you make enough
Not
changes,
really, like a metaphor. Not really, not actual
Mad-
fire.
Mads, to be honest with you, I can't always tell if you're using
Oh,
a metaphor
no,
or if
I-
you're obviously talking about.
So about the stone.
Only
There's a
bad people-
creature
only
in
bad
it.
Yes,
Oh, right,
excuse me, before we start. Mads, focus on two things right now. being the wonderful wife that you are, and being a wonderful parent. Everything else is going to be window dressing.
Window. Oh, okay, yeah. About the stone's bad.
To be clear, window dressing just means little details. They're just little details. Focus on the important things. It's the only way I'm going to keep my sanity intact, since my brain has been dicked with multiple times. And I'm busted, I need a cleric.
Window dressing like the beholder in the gnome's window.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. So
You mean the half-deflated one?
Well, I'm sure it's entirely deflated
He's
by
going
now.
to lean across to Vizan and he's going to whisper something. I'm going to roll stealth first before I say it, so I can actually just write it as a whisper if it is okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I was going to say,
that.
technically, where we're positioned, it makes perfect sense that you're like, literally everyone's right there.
Alright, so
Just
what are you
go
trying to
to
whisper?
Captain, you could always tell your superiors that she's too much of a headache to worry about.
Oh, that was the plan. That was the plan. So there is an entity in the stone. Is this an entity that is somewhere else and is using the stone to listen in, or is it literally physically inside the stone?
It's physically inside the stone.
Okay.
And it's very restrictive.
Yeah, he don't like it.
I can imagine. So is the entity listening to us right now?
And I imagine so.
Yep, listening for my big flappers, so...
How would it like to be released if we could find a means of doing that?
I'd like to point out that...
Much so.
I mean, I'd like to point out that it's not a very nice entity. It turned my brain to mush upon exiting it.
Yeah, he completely forgot.
Yeah, Rascal needs a cleric.
That's what
Very
happens
bad.
when a lesser mind touches one such as mine.
I love the way that Galore just keeps talking about Rascal as if he's a lesser mind, but he probably has the highest intelligence score here. Just
Do you know
saying.
the intelligence of this creature?
Oh yeah, I mean, he's just probably like super big brain, but I mean, like, get out the party!
Yeah, I mean... Mad smack the paddle ball.
But yeah, guy in the stone, not very nice. Kind of, yeah. Well, I can't hear that. I get the feeling it's sassing me, just some sort of psychic feedback. Anyway, yeah, it can manipulate the physical form of whoever's attuned to him, and it can be painful. So if you want this stone, you're gonna have to be careful with it. And again, can't stress this enough, not a nice person.
Well, let's be honest, neither am I.
True. That's why I'm willing to offer it to you. Then it could be the Zentarim's problem and not ours.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah, Galore seems to be up for it.
Now here is the dilemma you've put me in. I asked if everyone in this room was trustworthy, and now I have secrets that would get me killed that are in the possession of the thing I'm supposed to hand to my superiors.
So that makes it a hard no.
That makes things very complicated for me.
Oh, okay, but what if we get information you need from the stone itself?
Well,
Inside.
Then you can pass that on to your superiors in the Centarum, and they will be very pleased of you.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good to me.
I
that
mean,
was actually the plan that I had, Rascal. You almost read my mind.
we've been discussing this matter for a while, and the Xanathar Guild have been a real pain in our asses. So how about we nip this in the bud once and for all? What is the Xanathar? I mean, I have a theory, but you all seem to think it's outlandish.
Yeah.
You want to ask?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be more useful, Rascal, if we figure out where their base of operation is?
We know, we've been there already.
Rascal's plan is good.
Well,
Do what
but
Rascal
you do you.
Yeah, seriously, we have been to like their hideout, like when we
Yeah,
were rescuing
We've been
Fru.
to a
Yeah,
hideout.
you were
But we didn't go all
in.
the way in. We didn't go all the way in, so we don't know how deep that could have gone.
plus
If I
there's
may,
that weird. Now, I want to ask something before you go any further. At this exact moment in the conversation, am I correct, Ernest, in remembering that Mads saw the I'm
Mind
sorry,
flare?
the mind flare go into the magic stone?
Yes.
Okay, so at this moment, Mads says, "Well, we
You never
don't know
told
where
anyone
them."
about it though.
Yeah, exactly. She says, "Is that? Are we talking about the place where the Squid Man went into the magic stone pool portal thing?"
The magic stone portal? Yeah, I think we were. Yeah.
No, I was
Squid
rather
man?
thinking.
Yeah, the Squid Man, and she basically puts her hands up down below her chin and goes blah, 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 blah.
Well,
So-
do I know what the
Hello.
fucking illithid is?
Mads, are you basically trying to say like, hey, where we fought the orc and saved Floon?
Yeah,
Wait,
With the-
well,
I mean, Mads did charge it
wait.
ahead of us.
mind flare.
I don't know. He was
Was
he purple? Was he purple?
Purple.
Roll me
Tentacle
a
faced.
intelligence check.
all I remember
Yeah.
is that stupid little brain on 4 legs. That
That ain't my intelligence! You know,
You
the
have
first
taken
time my
intelligence.
brain was...
Oh, those are
This was
saves.
an
Excuse
intelligence
me.
check to see if Matt
Yeah, I had to-
remembers what she saw.
I'm trying to roll it. There it goes.
Okay. You don't remember what color it was.
Okay, it was just a Squid Man, and I can remember that much, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was just a Squid Man, and he was all, and she kind of puffs herself up and kind of like lifts, like, just like puffs herself up and goes, "Take care of them," and then like she like kind of like pantomimes skulking away, and then makes a little flashy motion with her fingers, like teleport. Is that good for that roll, Jonas?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, listen, allow me to explain my thinking. The biggest thing about the Xanathar, and he does big air quotes, the big secret, the thing that keeps everyone afraid of them is that no one knows what they are. It's a great big mystery. So, we find that out, and Rascal puts down the scroll of sending he has onto the table and pushes it towards Peachy. And you can inform your higher-ups in the Zentarum exactly what the Xanathar is, and they can spread that in the taverns and cause chaos. Because this is the Xanathar's big secret. It's their, it's how they hold power over the people of the city and presumably in the guild itself.
Chaos.
If we send them into absolute chaos, they'll be busy trying to sort themselves out rather than trying to kill the shit out of us.
I have an idea. I'm gonna go with it. But as I get the answer, I'm just gonna say it as it comes to me, okay?
But you're going to ask Rascal's question, right?
Before
That's the
that,
plan.
question for the DM. Is there any sort of check that Peachy can make to see whether or not this is a good idea? In his strategic opinion.
I mean, come on, Inquisitor. Aren't you trying to track down the Xanathar?
I mean, yeah, Peachy wants the location.
You're not
Yes,
entirely
me.
sure if you trust these chucklefucks to come up with a plan, to be honest.
Just leave it to me. And like I said, I'll repeat the information as I get it.
You
Really, if
know
we got
that
more than
Bing has the stone in his possession.
if we got more than one question out of today, this would
Trust
be
me, I
so
know
easy.
how this. Trust me. Bing gets a stone and just goes, "Okay, Galore, I need you to tell me the creature known as Xanathar. What and where is it?"
That's really the question you want to ask of me today.
Yeah. What and where is the Xanathar?
Well, first off, that's two questions. Second of
Nice
all,
try.
how the fuck am I supposed to know who that is? I don't know who you are.
So you don't know who the Xanathar is?
Psst, you didn't explicitly invoke legend lore, so he can lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
Bing does that,
There we go.
and he repeats the question.
Hold on. Let me quickly check something real quick.
He has no way of lying.
Oh yeah, I know he has no way of lying, but...
Yeah, but he might know. Yeah, Mads is gonna have a conniption if he says he doesn't know.
I thought the lore knew everything if it was invoked via legend lore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bing would probably just say, "You're supposed to know everything."
Yeah,
He doesn't
no
say
fair if he doesn't know.
I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah, if he doesn't know, and Mads is gonna be like, no fair, it doesn't count.
Hang on, I need to quickly look up the...
You're supposed to be helpful.
By the way, Peach looks over to Skeletor and Hunter and just raises an eyebrow. I'm assuming that we are fine, ladies?
Yeah, they're both good, right? Aren't you guys both good?
I don't judge looks very often.
It's very magnanimous of you.
Oxygen, guys, be right back.
Don't you worry about it.
Okay. So, you invoke the legend lore.
Yep.
You focus on the stone. You only get to ask one thing.
What is more pressing?
Where or who?
Where? Bing asks where.
Oh,
Well, if we know where they are, we know we quickly learn who they are.
I so disagree, but
Yeah,
Done it
strong
now.
disagree.
I
Strong
would've gone
disagree
who.
from Mads.
A creature such as this tends to move around, settled for quite some time. In this stone, my sight has been limited, but after you've woken me up, let's just say I can reach out a little bit. Xanathar, tell me, what do you already know of this subject?
Well, we know that basically
One of the bases.
the local
he's a beholder, I
Lead the
swear
beholder.
it!
thieves they associate with mind flayers, and presumably similar creatures.
They had a brain on 4 legs.
They teleport.
And they're probably in the sewers somewhere.
Prattle, this has nothing to do with him. How am I supposed to find him in the Arcane Weaves if you don't even know what he is or where he is? Could be a gnome for all I know. But very well, if you wish to expend my power on this useless question, I'll do
Sorry,
it.
pause, please. I'm not letting this get away. Please
you
tell me
can't
that
hear
Bing.
this.
Yeah, but Bing,
Okay.
please tell me you're explaining.
In that case, in that case, can you tell us what he is then?
Too late. You've already asked your question. The stone
Please tell.
begins to warm in your hand. Is the feeling that you're constantly being watched for a moment seems to shift away from you, but only for a moment before you get the feeling of that large eye is back upon you again. The one you seek lies deep beneath the streets, surrounded by natural and carved caverns, surrounded by faithful employees, protectors, a fish.
You're crying out a lot, Jonas.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, the gist was, this entity seems to lie deep beneath the streets, in caverns both natural and carved, seemingly surrounded by employees, protectors, those who fear and those who respect, and also a fish.
Oh, so a
fish?
what?
Natural
Fish?
caverns beneath.
Fish?
Natural and carved place beneath the city. So I'm guessing natural caverns of some sort.
Caverns with an access to the sewers?
That sounds like it.
Gee, it's almost as if, we could have gone deeper
Being-
and probably found these caverns.
being-
So it's a
Rascal.
place we already knew.
Rascal. Stop it for now, please.
Oh, Mads with sort of dagger staring.
We can have our disagreements later. We now need to listen what Bing is saying.
Oh, I
Yeah.
enjoy listening to the frantic screeching of the red one. His frustration is delicious.
Mads looks over at Bing and pleads with Bing and says, "Please ask it to be nice and tell us what it is, because we think it's a beholder." And she's heard Rascal say this, so she says, "We think it's a beholder. We're already just confirming it. Can it just please be nice once and do a yes or no? Please? Is it a beholder? Be nice. Come on.
It's not gonna comply.
I gotta try. Maybe
Well,
it'll be nice this one time."
nothing comes for free. I would be more
What's it say,
than
Bing?
willing to take an offering for this information, but it would be something substantial.
Yeah, you ain't getting information for nothing, I'm afraid.
Aw.
If you'd
Are
like,
you willing
pass me to
that?
the woman, and I will negotiate directly.
I don't think that'd be necessary.
Oh, you're no fun. Do you want
What-
the information or not?
First off, I think I'm pretty much fun since you kind of keep turning me into things.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you gotta enjoy that somehow.
Yes, but your form begins to bore me.
Oh, thanks very much.
What-
I thought
What's
we had
it
a
want,
report
Bing?
going.
What's it want, Bing?
He wants to speak to you.
No.
I can't. I can't. I'm pregnant. I can't. It'll hurt my baby.
No, she isn't.
What was that?
Well, someone has made an
That was
assessment.
But
so
well,
bad to
well-
Bing.
Yeah.
Look, we can find out. We can ask him tomorrow because we'll probably get one more question tomorrow. So we'll ask him tomorrow what Xanathar is. But for now, we at least know where he is.
What did it want?
Implying that you'll survive. You've now asked of me 4 questions. There will not be a 5th.
Sorry? What?
Yeah, because I didn't quite get that either.
You've asked of me 4 questions. There will not be a 5th without a very high cost.
It squeezed me?
Technically speaking, I've only asked you 2 questions.
You've asked me 3 yesterday.
No, I asked. Oh, wait, did I?
Yeah, you
One
basically
question.
had to ask
One.
all the questions that Rascal asked because Rascal forgot.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so you can only ask him how many times?
So we can only ask you 4 questions.
You can ask as many questions questions as you'd like. Whether or not your body survives is another question.
You know what, Bing? Would you mind letting me deal with this incessant individual, apparently?
Sure thing. Bing just kind of hands over the stone.
All right.
Rascal, I don't want to talk to it.
You don't have to.
I will take care.
Okay.
It'll hurt my babies, I know it.
Do you spend time to attune to the stone?
All right, I will attune to it.
Okay. It feels reluctant when it passes into your hands. Bing, you get a sensation that you want to snap it back. I would also like you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, see if you keep your marbles. No.
Okay.
Oh, come on, I
Bing.
have +5.
As you saw watch, Bing seems to wipe away his Vizan cosplay. He is now returning to his original shade and color as he watches Ashward, and then his eyes seem to glaze over. Bing, you blink for a moment and you realize, how did you get to the other side of the room? What? Where did the Minotaur come from?
Oh, Bing has forgotten everything since he attuned.
He has.
Oh boy.
Also, you have a splitting headache.
Oh.
Bing, buddy.
Did I get
How
too
you
drunk last night or
feeling?
something?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think I got drunk last night. Where did Captain Vizan come from?
Oh.
You have no idea who that is. Oh wait,
Oh.
yeah,
Hey, yeah, you met him before
yeah,
on Attunement, so...
yeah. Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, as I was trying to explain, yeah, Bing has forgotten everything that happened since he attuned to the stone.
Oh, well, that's one problem solved, I suppose.
Bing, it's been like well over a day since you attuned to the stone.
Fair enough.
We got the...
Ashford.
I mean, if it helps, we got the information about the vault, so... Yay!
Ashford,
Yes.
as you attune
Yes.
to the stone, you suddenly feel like your mind has been cracked open and is being sifted through. Like someone has opened the book of your life and is trawling through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Having fun up there?
You seem to witness your life flashing before your eyes. And as this process is going on, it is excruciating. As the rest of the party is focused on Bing, you notice that Ashford is wincing in pain as his features seem to flex and shift. His mutton chops seem to grow and shrink. His skin tone seems to shift from ashen to dark ebony. Eventually returning to his original form. And in the back of your mind, Ashford, you hear, well, that was interesting.
I hope you had fun.
Oh, I do enjoy a good book.
Well, you'll be with me for the foreseeable future.
We'll see how far that is.
As I say, foreseeable. I don't know how far the future goes, so...
And tell me, my friend, what is it you're seeking? I assume you're seeking the same information that your high-pitched red friend was after.
Well, I don't know if you will have to grant me the same insight.
Not
But
without
yes.
the use of the spell. For that information, for those spells, you can't quite use that. However, I do like to barter.
All right. So, what is it that you seek in return for the information?
I wish to be freed.
I'm sorry?
What?
Freed from this stone. But unless you have an immediate means to do that, that is not going to work for the moment.
Indeed. It is not going to work, unfortunately, for you.
So what will you offer instead? Some of the years of your life? Some of your skills?
How many years are we talking?
How many are you willing to sacrifice?
He is asking me to offer up something in return.
Like what?
Skills. Or he will cut the light of my life a little shorter.
No!
A little.
No, we'll just ask him tomorrow.
To be honest, what Rascal is asking is urgent.
Fairy Bunny, I don't like this.
I'd make some snappy remark, but...
Rascal, it is your decision. Do I give up years of, say, 10 years of my life for this? Or do we wait until tomorrow?
That is a very unfair decision to shove upon me after you completely ignored my initial suggestion in the first place.
Yes, and also, Mads is, I'm going to say while she's saying what she's about to say, Mads has turned pale and horrified and says, "It's your life."
I am willing to make this sacrifice.
Then don't ask Rascal for whether it's his decision or not. You're a soldier, after all.
And you are my friends, my family, my unit. So, I offer you 10 years of my future for this information.
Is that all? It's a paltry amount.
I am sorry.
Oh, yes, I forget. You mortals are such short-lived. 10 years is barely a drop to a thirsting man.
Still a drop still a drop. More than nothing.
How about all of them?
All of my future life? Did I hear you correctly?
Either that, or how about all that you have lived so far?
I will not give up the man I am today. And I will not give up all. I think I will not take up your offer then. And we will discuss this on the morrow.
Is this creature listening?
Oh, he is listening.
Yeah.
Perhaps we can offer something a little different. How about a bargain that once the Xanathar Guild are exterminated, we will get to work on releasing him from his prison.
And what guarantee does the Minotaur offer on this?
And
I'm going
what
to
guarantee?
need
What?
some collateral.
He is demanding for collateral because how can you guarantee success?
Well, I'm a man of my word.
You're
What
also
kind of
mortal. What's to
He-
stop you dying before you carry out your word?
He is saying that due to the fact that we are mortal, you are mortal just like everyone else, he cannot be certain that you will be able to finish.
Oh, I intend to live forever or die trying.
Well,
My
I
point
think he's
being-
pretty sure about the die trying.
Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. Actually, can I do this?
Is Rascal saying this out loud?
No! This is the player ruminating!
Oh, okay.
It's
I was
alright.
gonna say, you just gave Mads a shiver.
Have an idea.
Oh, you have an idea? Do tell.
I have been listening for quite some time. I have something, or rather, I can provide a service to the female, and she has something that she can provide to me.
I'm fairly certain there are at least 2 people who stand opposed to this.
Jonas,
Perhaps, yes?
I'd like to try and sleight of hand the stone out of Ashwood's hands.
You can try, but it's blatantly obvious he's holding it right in his
Yeah.
hand.
I know, but I don't see anyone trying to see Ras stealths around.
I literally picture Rascal hopping down from the table, and we just see his ears go around, and then the ears are behind.
Yep.
And then this little red hand reaches up and then pulls.
you do realize
Rascal.
that to speak to him, you will need to attune to the stone, which takes an hour.
I don't want to speak to him. I just want the stone.
Rascal? No.
You're gonna have to make a much more convincing case than that.
We can get the information that you are looking for tomorrow.
What were you saying people object to?
Again, he wants to talk to you. He says he has a service he can provide to you, and you have a service you can provide to him.
What
But
does he think I would want?
Well, you heard the question. So, what do you think she wants?
She wants a family. And in her current form, that's not possible, even with that trifling potion she tries. I can help on that. And she has access to a doorway that I want.
Well, Mads, he has the ability to
Mads is swaying.
ensure that you have a family of your own. But for that service, he wants access, I believe, to a door. And yeah, I'm not convincing in the term that that wants to make certain, but no, he pretty much almost spelling out. He claims you're not pregnant, and you can't get pregnant. That's the subtext that's coming out.
He wants my
Fantastic.
tree? I'm pregnant, but he wants my tree?
Yes.
He wants your tree. But who knows what he will do with it.
I wish
Mads?
to access the astral plane. I wish to return home.
As Rascal slides back into his seat.
Sweetie?
Yeah, Matt.
I mean,
You're asking for my approval, aren't you?
no. She opens her notebook, and she scribbles on it, and she passes the book over to Rascal, and I'm going to whisper to you what it says. In the worst scribbly handwriting you've ever seen, like always.
Also, how the hell do I not know that you're lying and that she is actually already... that she might already be pregnant? You can...
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright, she's going to fuck with me. Okay.
Okay. You feel like your eyes are suddenly on fire as you look around the room and you see an almost like a fuzzy outline of everyone in the room that seems to have an aura of life force.
Okay.
After the barest second, that shrinks back.
Alright.
There is only one life force within that body. But... interesting. Another matter to deal with, but anyway... She wishes very much, but she is not.
I don't know who made you a qualified midwife. And he's holding his head between his hands, like he's suffering the greatest migraine ever. Thanks to the burning eyes.
Not one of my expertise, but on matters of the soul, I have experience.
Mads, for her part, is swaying back and forth in her, kind of dreamy, in her chair, like she does when she's feeling it.
No.
When she's like, sweetie, did you see the note I wrote?
I saw the note. I saw the note. If you're sure, let's go for it.
She speaks out loud and she says, do you have blood? Ask it if it has blood.
Well, you can already, you can ask it.
Well,
Or
Do you
him.
have blood?
technically, yes, but not while I'm trapped within this stone.
Not in the stone, but technically, usually yes.
I think you can only have the tree if you have blood. But
I don't wish to take the tree. I wish only to enter through the portal.
oh yeah, no, we can totally. do that.
He only wants to go through. He only wants to go through the portal. The stone, the tree itself, he doesn't care about.
Mads gets a look of utter, sudden joy, and I'm sending something to Jernus. She has this look of euphoria.
Why do I have the feeling that we're going to go on an expedition to this tree to flint the stone beyond?
I mean, once he gets out the stone, which he probably is now,
Rascal, hold on.
he's gonna know where it is. So
Rascal, hold on. Yeah.
that's not Rascal. That is Kubur the player.
Oh, okay. Because I just sent a message to Jernus. Mads has this look of the cat who ate the canary. And she is like, yeah. I'll take you to my tree.
How do I know that you will hold up your end of the bargain?
Quite frankly, whatever I do to her will remain impermanent until I receive what I want. So,
Yeah.
if she doesn't complete her end of the bargain, our deal will be forfeit, and any changes I make, regardless of her current fertile state, will be reverted.
So the player is wanting to understand, like, we have to keep the stone on Mads, or else everything snaps back.
Yep.
He says exactly that. Yes. So you wouldn't be able to travel with me. You wouldn't want to travel with me.
No,
I mean,
not
I would
exactly,
feel
no.
it. To be honest, I'm slightly insulted by that statement.
Oh,
Rascal, do you think I don't have a baby? Rascal, do you think I don't have a baby?
Oh, for God's sakes.
You
I
just
love-
hear
I love
Bing.
playing
Bing
Glory.
is just snoring at this point.
To be honest,
Dude, you want me to? What, to be honest, what, Ashford?
pardon? I didn't get that.
To be honest, what, Ashford?
He claims that there's only one life force within your body, yours.
All right.
Look, the honest answer is he could be lying through his teeth to get what he wants.
He
Matt-
gave me a short vision of
You know,
things.
And he could be showing you exactly what he wants to show you.
I should be offended, but he is completely truthful. I have lied before, but I see no point in lying to you.
He claims
I
he
have
sees no point in
something you
lying.
truly want.
Of course not. He has something he wants.
Yes,
I see.
that's
And I-
exactly.
The
I
fact of the
could offer
matter.
something instead. A mutual gain, one would say.
Yeah.
Bing
hang
is
on.
sort of,
He
Hang on.
wants a mutual gain. Basically,
Bing
it's
kind of
one thing
Bing
for
kind of
another.
sits up and just goes, didn't I hear that the Rangers could sense if there was a couple of kobolds in there or not?
What?
Yeah.
Primeval
Yeah,
awareness. You guys have it.
awareness, sort of.
Yeah. Do I have
You're all cutting out for me.
a baby? Tell me now.
Primeval awareness. Use it to find out if Matt has babies. Hunter should probably do it because she's not compromised.
Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter, could you primeval awareness how many kobolds are in this room right now?
Do I have babies? That's all. She's holding onto her stomach.
You may have your
Could you
mind
please
on
stop the
this.
victory dance up there?
I see.
Icy's probably zoned out.
I
I feel so
Earth
bad.
to
These
Icy.
episodes Icy doesn't really get in.
I know.
Yep. Sorry, we like to talk over each other.
It's terrible. We're trying to work on it.
Yeah, me too. I see.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
What's up?
Primeval awareness. We were asking Hunter to use primeval awareness to see if Matt is pregnant.
Next level so hard for expanding your sense to creature.
Also, we adore you, Icy.
Yes.
Okay.
And I asked for
Looking for kobolds. You sense in the immediate vicinity 2 kobolds and several more below. So you're sensing your staff members downstairs and only 2 in this room.
don't sense the presence of any other kobolds aside from the 2 here and the 3 downstairs.
Are you sure, Hunter?
At the moment, I mean, not sure if kobold eggs would show up.
Well, here's the thing. It might not be as simple as just looking for kobolds. This is going to be like a crossbreed.
Here's the thing
Not
is,
gonna be
though, that
straightforward.
to be fair, I'm part Fey, so pretty sure I'd be able to sense the part kobold.
I know, I'm just throwing it out there. Matt, I can't make this decision for you. It's your body, and they're your kids.
I'm not pregnant.
Well, if you're willing to take the chance, there's an offer on the table. Whatever you choose, I'm with you all the way.
Hunter,
That's all that matters.
can you see if I have any life inside of me other than mine?
I'm afraid Hunter can't. It has to be a specific type of creature.
Oh,
Technically, kobolds fall under draconic as well, don't they?
Technically,
I believe their class is humanoids, actually. I'll
can you
check.
tell if there's any energy inside of me? A soul other than mine? Something?
Above game, it really doesn't work like that.
Oh, I know, but Mads doesn't. She has no idea.
Okay.
Mads is so scared.
As you are sitting around, you hear Ashford take a very deep breath through his nose. As he looks around, slowly opens his eyes, and you notice that they are black voids. As he steeples his fingers and looks around, well, this is a little easier. Do we have an accord, Lady Madeline of Turquoise?
I just want to know. I can't. I believe you. I believe you. And she starts crying.
Oh, well, now I feel like an asshole for breaking bad news to you.
You are an asshole.
I will not argue against that, I definitely am. But the point of the matter is that delightful potion you've been taking, and yes, I am aware of it, thank you for filling me in on that, Rascal. It will increase the odds, but sadly, not by much. I, however, and you notice Ashford's form just shifts and starts to look a little bit more reptilian before shifting back, can make a little bit more of a permanent change. All I ask is access to your home.
Matt, like I said, it's your call. I can't make this decision for you. All I can do is stand by you.
Mads,
I am not malicious. I don't like to hurt people for the sake of hurting people. There's no fun in that. I like to learn. I like to travel. And I've been stuck in this stone for far too long.
and Matt says, will you share a dinner with me in the special place?
The special place?
When this is done. Yeah, you'll see if I take the stone.
I will. Yes, that is true.
And you promise me, you vow. Oh, I know how to do it. Everyone, I know the answer. The condition, I do a condition. A condition, yeah. If you're lying about, as part of my agreement, if you're lying about me being pregnant, then you automatically can't do anything and you have to go back. Yeah, see, I've got you.
I agree to that clause.
You get it, right? No tricky words. No tricky words. If I'm actually pregnant, you can't, because my kids haven't agreed to you doing anything, and I can't agree for them.
Technically you can,
So-
you are their mother, but still, I understand, and I will adhere to your clause.
Okay,
Now then,
then yeah, I'll take you home.
I can't quite force them to turn over the stone, so I'm just going to give this tiny little halfling back his body.
Give me the
See you
stone, Ashford.
soon. Ashford blinks and shakes his head.
What the? What?
Ashford,
Give
you
me-
take...
Oh no!
How many points of psychic damage?
3 points of psychic damage.
You got lucky.
Oh. Yeah, you
All
did.
right. Okay. Someone took down the name of the owner of the carriage that just ran over me.
Give me the stone, Ashford.
What?
Give her the stone, Ashford.
What the fuck happened?
Galore directly took you
you
over.
are fully aware of what happened.
Okay, so
you
that's
just
what. So
watched your body move without your control.
first of all, you are a bastard. You could have asked me, but no. Instead, you just. Hey,
It's
I take.
annoying trying to make a deal through a third party. Now, hand over the stone.
Mads
Mads?
has both her hands out.
Are you certain you want to do that?
I'm certain.
Yes.
I love you, Rascal. I love you so much that I love you from the beginning of time to the end of time. And if anything happens to me because this creature is lying, or any children, know that I love you so much. And she's like crying and shaking, but she's holding her hands out. Do it.
Oh, how sweet. Get on with it.
Well, she's holding her hands out, waiting for Ashford.
If you're screwing with her, then there will be no place in the multiverse for you to be safe, my friend.
Oh, that's adorable.
That's not a threat. That's a promise.
And Mads says,
It's adorable.
she's reaching her hand
You
out.
can keep that.
And he hands over the stone. All right.
Be nice. Be nice, please.
Okay.
I'm trying to have a different life. Be nice.
So you
All
take
right.
time to attune to the stone?
Yeah, with her eyes closed, she's just focusing on it, and she's like, as she's attuning, she's saying every so often, I love you, Rascal. I love you, Rascal. I believe in you.
Wisdom saving
I
throw,
believe in us.
please.
One thing at a time, please. And that'll be a public roll.
Just let me quickly check that.
You might pass.
Yeah, you're good. You remember everything. The weird feeling of violation as someone rifled through your memories and mind.
Not only that, taking over, that was almost worse.
In the meantime, Mads, you get that same feeling like someone is pawing through all your lives. You feel...
I'm going to tell you it's something, GM, and you need to know that, like, it's...
Fair enough.
That's what she's doing.
As you feel as though you're reliving your lives, it almost as if time slows down whenever interactions with your tree come up, but briefly.
Yes.
And after a while, again, this is like a searing pain in your head. It lasts barely a moment, but it feels like you've lived your lives all over again. And you hear, just in the back of your mind, I do see what you mean now about that 5 guys. But, yes, I learned much more than I was hoping, and I am now rather eager to make this deal.
Can she talk silently to it in her head?
You can.
Okay, I'm sending a message.
I need to wash up. Also, thank you, Boyzan.
What did I do? I didn't do anything.
Well, you laid hands on me.
That not at all. Not a problem. Not a problem. Normally,
Matt-
one asks
Matt,
consent for such things.
Mads is silent and her lips are moving, and she's speaking silently, though. She's not making any sound. She's talking silently. And I sent the GM what she says.
Noted. Let's just see, through all the hands I have passed, yours are the most interesting.
Thank you.
You have access to something that will free me not only from this stone, but from this wretched plane. And in return, I will offer you something much greater. But the question is, would you prefer a full transformation, or just enough?
All of it. I want all of it.
It will be painful, my dear.
I've hurt before. You know I've hurt before. You know how much I understand what hurting is.
That is
I understand
true.
it really well.
Very well. Then
Just
we
don't
have
make it
a
hurt
deal.
extra. 'Cause I get the sense you're the kind of person who would make it want to hurt extra, and that's not cool.
You know, a lot of people say that to me, but it's not actually true. I don't derive any extra pleasure from it.
Then prove it and try to make it as nice as possible.
Well, darling, I will be reconstructing your entire body. It's going to be painful regardless, unless you want to be
Yes.
unconscious for it. I can arrange that.
I know I want to feel it.
Then fair warning has been given. So then, I will stay with you until you return me to your tree.
Yes, one other thing though, you have to tell us. I left something out before you start. One other thing I need to know. I need to know what the Xanathar is, please. That was the whole thing that started all this. The question, remember? The deal? I figured it was taken and understood, but now I'm realizing it may not be. So you'd have to tell me that before we start.
You know what very well.
Is it a beholder?
I've had a few delicious meals tonight, and I feel that's worth something.
Swear to God, if he fucking lies.
Well, you have to tell the truth.
Without,
No, he doesn't.
he doesn't know, not without the legend lore.
Well, Mad, yeah, I know, but Mad is
invoking
pleading.
that spell, I cannot give you the exact details other than there are many eyes and many spies. I believe...
Many eyes, many spies, she says.
I do believe that your beloved is possibly correct in his assumption.
Rascal, you're possibly right, which means you're right, because when you're right, you're right.
It either is a beholder as you speak, or it is someone who has a vast network of spies. Without using the spell, I cannot give you a concrete answer, but I believe he is correct.
Well, you said both, so that's the answer you've given. You said many eyes, many spies, so I'm going to take you at your literal word, because now I have no choice.
No,
Be
you
nice.
always have a choice, my dear.
No, I
Very
don't
well.
have a choice. You know what I want. You know I don't have a choice.
Would you... This may concern your beloved. You may want to give him just warning.
Rascal?
Hmm?
Something's about to happen. I'm going to be different. I love you.
I love you too.
Adorable. Here we go.
Can he hold my hand?
That would be ill-advised. You might break it. As soon as he says that, you feel as though your entire body has just been dunked in a freezing cold bath. You straighten up because you feel like your spine has just shot upward. You feel your skin seem to shift around your body. As you look at your hands, your skin seems to come together in hard lumps, forming lines, cracking and raising as your fingernails elongate into claws. You start to feel an excruciating pain in your arms and legs and spine as you feel like you're being crushed. As the rest of the party is watching, Mads has doubled over and is shrieking as she seems to shrink down. Her skin is changing, becoming hard, flaky, turning green. Her face is elongating, her mouth widening, her teeth changing to fangs. Her ears seem to be moving up towards the back of her head and elongating. Again, all turning green. Eventually, after much shrieking and convulsing, there is now a larger than average reptilian figure huddled in the overlarge clothes of Mads ahead of you. Mads, you are now 4 foot tall, and you are, for all intents and purposes, a kobold.
Are you okay?
That's so
Bing's
casual.
Big-
Ashford, for once, can you not be casual
Bing's gonna
about
give her-
horrific events? So yeah, Rascal's gonna rifle through the oversized clothes and fish out his wife!
First off, I only sound casual, and second,
Mads, would you like to make me a constitution saving throw with disadvantage?
Oh, yeah, would I like to?
I mean, if you're asking, no.
Okay. That was the
Wait a minute.
most painful thing you have ever experienced in all of your lifetimes, but somehow you managed. Oh wait, actually no, I forgot I said with disadvantage.
Yeah, it was just delaying the second roll.
So, yeah, when it finally eases, you are exhausted. You feel like you have been struggling to breathe, and finally all that pain just stops. You look up at Rascal, give a little smile, and pass out.
I want to catch her!
Bing's. I'd say Bing is going to give her a once over. I rolled a 24 for that.
Does she require healing?
Mads?
So, like I say, Bing's examining her. So
She is breathing heavily. You get the feeling that if she was still a mammal, she would be sweating profusely, but as she is a kobold, she is panting very heavily. Her now reptilian tongue just flapping out of her little maw. She is severely exhausted, so Mads, take a point of exhaustion.
You got it.
And you also have 1 hit point.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, on
Alright,
that note,
well,
on that note,
she
yeah,
looks-
everybody's first. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Yeah, everybody heals his wife!
So to clarify,
regardless of
Peach was
healing,
asking-
she is. Regardless of healing powers, she needs to rest.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me twice. I'm taking her to bed. No.
You need help with that, Rascal?
She is a big kobold. Yes, I'd like some help, please.
Alright,
Thing
I'll,
helps.
Does she have her black hair like the drawings? Her mycelium hair.
That's...
If you were a lizard, technically no, but considering you weren't quote-unquote human, I would say, sure, you get to keep your hair.
Yeah, because she's not naturally truly human anyway. It's mycelium, so you
So,
know.
yeah, you still have your hair.
Black hair.
That is unusual, the black hair, to be honest, but we've bigger fish to fry.
Meanwhile, Nulla leans over to Hunter and is like, does she do that often?
Picturing Rascal saying, "That's unusual."
Unfortunately, Rascal is preoccupied dragging his now kobold wife to bed.
I'd say Bing's probably got one of her arms over his shoulder to help.
And Ashwood is trying to help as well.
Peach is just going to try and clear the way for them. Too many cooks.
Too many cloaks?
Too many cooks.
Yeah, I wish I could grab Mads' token as well, but I can only control mine.
Okay. We'll say for the sake of brevity, you take her upstairs.
Thank you.
You return to the common room.
No!
Okay. Rascal stays up there.
They could deal with that shit themselves.
Does Ashford and Bing return back downstairs?
I'd say so, yeah.
After a moment or two, when he learns that he's no longer needed, he makes his excuses and returns back to the common room.
So,
Well, ladies, gentlemen,
Yes.
I have a problem. What am I supposed to tell my supervisors?
About meds.
No. Well,
Which problem are we talking about?
Well,
I was going to address the one about the stone, the Xanathar Guild.
well, we found out that where they're based has natural caverns.
Well, you don't remember that.
Oh,
Just be
You
glad
don't.
that we noted it down.
yeah, I'm going to say someone should have noted it down.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Ashwood did. Rascal's too busy being pissy.
Well, Ashwood would still be able to remember that.
Yes, Ashwood would, because he managed to keep his smarts.
Yes.
But yeah,
It's not-
would you like some help from the guy who really wanted you to ask the important question? We can salvage something from this. What was the one detail that actually stuck out from that?
Might be a beholder.
No.
You're not here.
I'm not. The player is helping. I want to help anyway. Unless the DM specifically forbids me. I don't hear a no. Fishes!
Yeah.
Yeah, the fishes was the fish.
Fish. One fish.
Yeah, isn't that odd? What would that imply?
That sounds like metagaming to me personally, but okay.
Well-
Salvage something.
Mads would ask about. Oh, just to be clear, Mads would ask about the fish. She was quirking out about the fish anyway.
Well, Mads is KO'd.
Yeah.
Well, what? Okay. What little information we have, I will just say we had someone do divination. I'll try and make sure nobody knows you actually have the stone. One thing I was going to say before I left, what are your plans in regards to the vault, the money?
Well, we've learned that the key is a little bit more complicated than, well, a single item.
What are the keys?
Well,
You can trust me.
one of the... Well, I mean...
Oh, damn it.
There is, after all, a risk involved with that. But there is... One is a drow. That's why I was actually asking. And Bing had already been kind of talking about that. Another is...
Faizan, roll me a quick intelligence check.
Sure, it would be my pleasure. One moment, please. Intelligence check. Regular or disadvantage?
Normal.
Normal. I appreciate that. Normal. Whoa. Moo.
With all this talk of the Xanathar Guild, you do recall that the person who seems to be the right hand of Xanathar is a drow?
Okay. So we need a drow. I might be able to acquire one if I'm fortunate. What else?
We have the other two actually already pretty much covered.
Oh, wonderful. What are they?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yes, that's why I'm asking.
Uh,
If we're working together, I do need
if
to know.
we are working together and you're not running to your masters, I mean, they would probably ask, how do you know all that?
Oh, this isn't for them.
All right, in that case, there is the eye stalk of a beholder,
Right.
and I seem to have momentarily forgotten the third one, unfortunately.
Mr. Natkin, you were explaining this earlier. What was the third item?
Do you want to see through the charade?
Bing just kind of blinks to us. I can't actually remember.
Oh, does Bing actually? Yeah, so Bing wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when the Galore left my head, he kind of took everything with him, so to speak.
Yeah, I apparently
so
was
like-
too boring for him to take anything.
Yeah.
Hunter and Nolan, no.
Yeah, Madam Swiftpaw. What was the third item?
I see.
Beardless Dwarf, Jowhand, and...
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't mentioned the beardless dwarf.
So the Jowhand.
Oh,
The
this...
drow hair.
I'm not in character.
Just
Hey,
saying.
guys,
Okay.
it was a severed hand of a drow.
Hmm.
There you
That
go.
was number one that he already Ashwood was talking about. We have Ashwood talked about the Eye of the Beholder and the drow. He's talking about the
Beardless
drow
dwarf.
in general, but he hasn't talked about the beardless dwarf.
There you go. That's
He
it.
intentionally forgot to mention that.
Good choice.
And honestly, at this point, Hunter doesn't care. She just tells him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so just the beardless dwarf, not the fact that I need a severed hand of a drow. Okay.
I had talked about the drow. It doesn't need to be severed. It can be still attached to the drow, I believe.
Oh my gosh, so wait. Did you just clarify that it needed to be a severed hand?
The draw's hand specified it needed to be severed.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, as a severed hand.
Okay,
Separate from the rest. Yes.
Thank you for that information. I'll make sure to keep that to myself. Thank you. Well, I really should be off. I have a lot of work to... one final question to make sure that the Zentarum and the Xanathar don't find out about all this. Where was the vault located again? Or was Galore unfriendly enough to give you that information?
I'm actually making an intelligence check because the player has almost forgotten.
Oh my god. Here.
Yeah, no, I have. Sorry, should be a regular intelligence check.
Do you need me to legitimately remind you?
Yeah, I actually forgot the name of the theater that it's below.
The vault is beneath the theatre in the castle wall, the Pink Flump.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
You would remember it with that.
Yeah, but do I have to do another performance check in order to or a deception?
You would need to do a deception check, yes.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's flop.
Vizan, you can roll an insight check on that.
Yeah, unfortunately I'm at disadvantage because I was such a nice person. But that was a 9.
Yeah.
So they know. Madam Swiftpaw, do you remember the name of this location? Or perhaps Miss Scaletta, was it?
Not I may remember, the player forgot.
Oh my god.
Pink Flump. The Pink Flump.
I think it was the fuchsia.
I seem to remember now. Sorry, didn't want to seem deceptive or anything. It's the Pink Flump, I believe.
That's what it was, yes.
Wonderful, thank you. Well, I really must be going. Before I do, actually, final thing for Peachy before he is out of the door. How much gold would he have been paid from the number of Xanathar people he's killed or interrogated so far?
Well, let's do a quick roll and see how many you would have got. Let's roll. I would say you would have got around 50 gold per one you brought in, and you brought in 7 confirmed.
Okay. Peachy is going to take 10 gold for himself. He's going to leave the rest of that on the table. And he's also going to say, now that no lady, the bouncer, she did some very good work. I want you to make sure she gets quite a substantial bonus. The rest is for our tavern. In the meantime, I have work to do. Good day.
I'm just going to send you a little whisper before you head out the door.
Uh-huh. Oh, even better. You know what? Yes, just because it's a power move, and this is who I am, I'm going to say, oh, what am I thinking? He snaps his fingers. Come to market, little piggy. Oh no, come home, little pig. Bon appetit. And he's just going to walk away.
Rudolph happily munches on the coins.
Two things as soon as Vazan is out of earshot. 1. Set a trap. Just in case.
Alright.
And 2, take him off the list of people with access to Rudolph. I know he's a nice person, but still, I don't want harm to befall you, little piggy.
Out of everyone in the group, this is meta game, but out of everybody in the group, Rudolph is the safest person. Let's be fair with Vizan. But that's me.
Well, the thing is, he might be trusting Vizan. Vizan may not harm Rudolph, but the thing is, Vizan may at one point be tempted by someone to empty Rudolph, pretty much.
Well then, with that,
That is Ashwood's belief, actually.
Yes, yes.
It's a good place to stop there for the evening.
I agree, especially because Rudolph is absolutely the biggest monetary concern we have now.
So, play the game.
The last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I would say it's absolutely Captain Vizan.
I was absolutely going to give it to Mads and everything, but I'm so sorry. You just left yourselves wide open. Yeah, nothing personal, just business.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Feel of the game.
Oh, gee, I wonder what it
Where
could be.
did we start? Let me count the ways. 1 Ashwood, 2 Ashwood, 3 Ashwood, and 4 Ashwood.
Yeah,
Recapping
Zero being asking the wrong question, leading to a whole sorry state of affairs that have unfolded before our very eyes.
Yep.
And Rascal kneecapping Gordain.
Well, that was Rascal trying to get over his horrid life and be a happy boy once again, which he hasn't been since Sammy has died.
He hasn't been happy since Sammy died?
He's been miserable and on the verge of a nervous breakdown many times.
Ashwood is actually on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
Seriously, the thing with his character is like, next session, I'm gonna have a great big cry, it's gonna be horrible, and then when it gets to it, it's like, why are you still not crying, Rascal? Why are you still together? He just kept somehow surviving and keeping a brave face. It was for one reason or another. It's like it was either for the party as a whole to keep them moving forward, or for just Mads because she believes in him so much. Oh, it's been hard because like at the end of like so many sessions, I've like cried myself to sleep because I've been feeling Rascal's internal pain.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to express it.
No, exactly. So did you get to express some of it today, a little bit at least?
I mean, yeah, but now we have new pain.
What pain? Mads is gonna wake up and be a pretty hot kobold.
Yeah.
He's
It's the
referring
pain on
to
it.
pain that Ashwood has just caused. everyone.
Questions, comments,
Oh, yeah.
queries?
What?
I have a feeling that Peachy's going to turn up at some point and say, "Oh, here," and hand you a sack with a severed dry hand in it.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I thought
helpful.
Peach was going to show up with a sack full of 1,000,000 dragons and go, here, and give them one for your trouble, and then leave.
No.
It will at least be 2.
No. You misunderstand, Peachy. He's going to keep 2 for himself and give the rest for the tavern.
We'll see. We'll see when it comes down to it. We'll see what deals he's...
Well, who knows? Maybe Peachy will run into an interesting, enticing offer that says wife has no way to avoid. In a place called Bavaria?
Oh, no, he ain't involved in that.
Peachy,
Not
can,
yet.
Peachy can do what he likes. I wash my hands of this mess.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now you're putting the blame on me, eh?
With that,
Yeah, pretty much.
we've done
No.
Heist. It's going to be a good night from me. It's going to be a good night from Rascal Boy, Kubur.
Good night.
A good night from our very confused, totally a real person creature.
I will need explanations one day. Good night.
A good night from the new Kobold, D.
I think things are finally looking up, as long as no one did anything stupid while I was knocked out.
A good night from the ever monotone Ashward.
Fuck, I just screwed up.
You did. A good
Yeah,
night
big time.
from the dear captain, Dennis.
Good night. Love you all.
A good night from the kitty who is sick of everyone's shit, Icy.
So sick of everyone's shit, the microphone's already up.
Hey, I'm with
Alright.
Hunter at this point.
Hunter's just
Night,
so
everyone.
sick of everyone's shit. And lastly, a good night from little bingy boy, Seffi.
Night.
And with that, good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night.